The following is a presentation of the Shining Wizards Network, broadcasting live in high-definition video and available on all podcasting and streaming platforms. Follow us on social media at Wizards Podcast. Check out our merchandise at merch.shiningwizards.com. Do your Amazon shopping at amazon.shiningwizards.com. And become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/wizardspodcast. And now, it's time for the Shining Wizards.
And once again, you are tuned in live to episode number 702 of the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast, coming to you live on social media and going with you wherever you go on each and every one of those streaming and podcasting platforms. We got a full house in the house, all over the house, so let's get into some wrestling talk.
And talk about wrestling.
Around the world we go. Tony.
Matt.
Handsome Kevin.
Brundo.
KJG.
Kind of surprised you didn't go with the double T this time. I thought double T
I
was...
forgot.
That's okay.
I forgot. I got barbecue on the brain, so
I understand. 6 days away, huh?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Handsome Kevin's coming to town. Big Al's coming in. We're gonna have a good time, so I'm fucking amped, man. Like you were a couple weeks ago, pre-vacation, Tony. I am in the same boat this week.
My ribs feel fantastic, by the way.
I mean, look, it could be worse.
Oh, it couldn't. Oh, it really couldn't.
How is everyone doing this fine Monday night?
Blue as a bird.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
brother. Blue bird getting bluer, baby. Bluer, I barely know her.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Nobody talk, everybody at once. Fucking nailed it.
I mean, there's 5 of us now. It's going to take a little getting used to, you know.
Yeah, everything's great.
Everything is good. Well, look, so we woke up, what was it, Friday morning? Was it Friday?
Yes, we all rolled out of bed together.
Two queen-size air mattresses in Matt's
The
basement.
Stooges in bed.
Friday.
Potty soil in the toilet.
It's a Friday. I got to look this up.
What happened Friday, Double T?
We woke up to the, hold on, I'll check my calendar. Yep. All right. So I woke up to the group text message, and HK had texted us, task had passed. It took me a minute to get the sleepies out of my eye and actually put together what Handsome Kevin was saying. Handsome Kevin also has a nickname for his father, Cave, but as I had just rolled out of, just woke up, I was like, oh, fuck. The Handsome Kevin's father died. And then I stared at the text message and went, task. Oh, Kevin Sullivan. Good.
Correct, dude.
Then it takes me a while to wake up.
I hear you.
I'm not that sharp. But yeah, Kevin Sullivan passed away Friday. Former guest of the show. I shared that wonderful picture of him in front of his mantle, rocking the Shining Wizards t-shirt. And I shared, Kevin Sullivan is one of 2 professional wrestlers who accidentally called me and instead of just hanging up, had like a 5-minute conversation with me. The other one being Jerry Lynn. But man, we knew he was sick. He was going through some stuff. They started GoFundMe for him a couple weeks ago. But man, as we get older, the guys we grew up watching get older, and unfortunately, we have to bid them a farewell.
Moment of silence for Kevin Sullivan here.
This is going to take some getting used to with the 5 of us. So we'll get it down. the way we flow. But man, Handsome Kevin, I'm going to go to you first because you have the Taskmaster eyebrow tattoo on your wrist.
Sure do. Sure
Um,
do. I don't know
or
if I-
that's the eyebrow. What? There's eyebrows.
It's
Right?
the face paint.
It's his eyebrows.
What? So you're, for those who aren't, maybe you're new, maybe you're just tuning in. Handsome Kevin, JJ Rogue, independent professional wrestling manager involved in pro wrestling. What did Kevin Sullivan mean for you?
So it's kind of tough, man, because Kevin Sullivan is somebody that when I was younger, I hated, but I hated him for all the right reasons. And then you don't really get a great appreciation for his work until, for me at least, until I got a little bit older. And then you dig into kind of the performer he actually was, and watching just the small things. I love the small things when I'm watching wrestlers, and he's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's probably 5'5". But in the ring, right? At any moment, you believe that he had a chance against effing anybody. It was awesome. He did so many unique things, so many creative things, so many things that sometimes people look back on and be like, "Oh, that was bullshit." But guess what? You remember it. You're never going to forget it, good, bad, or indifferent. You're going to remember it. A lot of things kind of went through my mind when I opened that article on Friday morning, and a lot like you said, like I again gained a great appreciation for him, later in life, and I had the opportunity to meet him once, show him the tattoo, and it was one of those things where I'm super good with death, right? It never really bothers me, right? I've been around a lot of death. It's one rule that everybody has to play by. You get to live, you have to die, right? Doesn't matter who you are. It's the one rule everybody plays by. But this one I had to kind of like sit back down. You know what I mean? This one kind of hit me just a little bit different. And I was fortunate enough, like I said, to meet him like 2 months ago. And yeah, it's like you said, Double T, a lot of the guys that, we watched and looked up to are one by one kind of exiting, and it's a bit of a bummer for sure. But again, super grateful I had the opportunity to meet him. Super grateful I had the opportunity to show him the tattoo, because I don't know how many other people out there have a Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan tattoo. I just don't. But and I was able to share that with him. It was kind of special for me.
KJG, I know you're a Dungeon of Doom aficionado. What does the impact that Kevin Sullivan left on you as a wrestling fan?
So as soon as I found out that he passed away, like the immediate define Kevin Sullivan's career. And obviously I wasn't old enough to know about his territory days. I knew him in WCW 1994, right? 93, 94, and then 95 and 96, 97 until WCW closed. So the immediate attention goes to how great of a booker he was. And to me, it's true. It's very, very true. But he was just as good a performer, like on camera, as he was as a booker. And the one thing that I kind of wish we got was a Kevin Sullivan like babyface run. Like I was so curious to see how he could do as a babyface. And I think the closest we got to that was when the NWO showed up and the Dungeon of Doom had no choice but to turn babyface to defend the honor of WCW. So like all these question marks come into my head about what could have been with Kevin, HK and Tony, like everyone, like you think of Hulk Hogan's impact on WCW. Who was one of his first big main rivals? Kevin Sullivan. Obviously, you go to Ric Flair first and then maybe Vader, but Kevin Sullivan was like the antithesis of the good guy that was Hulk Hogan that they were trying to establish. It like based on my watching of Kevin Sullivan, to me, that is an epic feud. Obviously, you go to his stuff with Benoit and the Horsemen, but like Kevin Sullivan had no right being as big a star as he was, and I think he gets overlooked in terms of importance as a main event heel in wrestling. Like he was that good.
Let's go to our newest wizard, Brundo, because I think we need to do like a Meet Brundo Patreon exclusive, right? Like we did for Handsome Kevin. You're very knowledgeable with your wrestling history, but where does the Kevin Sullivan fandom start for you?
So probably the same as KGG here. I really didn't watch a lot of NWA, WCW growing up. So when Hogan went over to WCW, I remember that's the first real like time I ever really saw Sullivan. So him doing the Dungeon of Doom and everything, and same thing, like looking back on it, loving it so much. Like there's so many Dungeon of Doom stuff, like maybe 8-9 years after it happened, we used to rent videos of and watch the Doomsday Cage or all this Dungeon of Doom stuff, and just absolutely, instead of going out drinking on a Saturday, we'd watch WCW shit. But
It gives you
yeah.
a hangover just like drinking, right? Watching
yeah,
WCW.
pretty much. Yeah, beefcake hangover. But yeah, and then reading about him later on, and like hearing about his feud with Dusty in Florida, and especially like his original group down there, and seeing the shit he did with the fucking guy that feuded with Freddie Blassie. I always forget his name.
Jandar Akbar?
No.
John Tolos?
John
Mark-
Tolos. Yeah. And Woman and everything, and
Purple
it's
Haze, bro.
Purple Haze. Yeah.
Purple
Haze. And I loved like hearing Sullivan do tall stories of like them being out at 3 a.m. filming videos of Tolos coming out of the ocean and shit like that. It's 30 degrees outside, and he's outside in his trunks coming out of an ocean. It's just, he gave me so much, like, I loved listening to him talk, because I felt like I was learning more about the business, hearing him anytime he would do a shoot, or, he did one of the rebook WWF in 1984 if you didn't have Hogan. And it was such a cool watch to see how like he would do WWF in 1984, and like who he would put on top and who would feud with who. I definitely recommend if you ever get a chance to watch that. That's amazing.
I mean, there's not much more to say. He was in a great position, honestly, and I know he's talked about it, and not everybody has the fondness of the Alliance to End Hulkamania or the Dungeon of Doom like KJG does, but he was in a position where he was like the Bobby Heenan of WCW. He was feeding all the monsters to Hulk Hogan, and it's not a bad spot to be in, especially once you get past Ric Flair, once you get past Vader.
But while working too,
for sure.
Yeah,
and you said you'd like to see him as a face. I don't know if I would have liked to have seen Kevin Sullivan as a face. I mean, he's a smaller guy. He's stocky. He's got size, but he's a shorter guy. But he always looked like he could be a fucking problem.
Yep.
And that's what made him dangerous. Even if you watch his stuff when he first turned heel early in his career, like he was nuts. Like he just didn't care. And of course, the Tree of Woe will always be synonymous with Kevin Sullivan.
Right.
Stacking you up in the corner, hooking that leg, and just going to town.
Kevin Sullivan squash matches were some of my favorites to watch, because he didn't stop.
And he did a double stomp a lot too.
Yeah. Especially I remember that one of the most famous ones was against our buddy Hardbody Harrison, I think. Where him and Jacqueline just beating the crap out of him, and it might have been Hard Work Bobby Walker, but it was the one where they were outside by the pools and stuff, and he ended up in the pool because Sullivan and Jacqueline just threw him over.
The best is like when
great.
They had those like wooden chairs that like remember like those wooden chairs with like the planks in the middle that would like the Kevin, like to me, like I'll always think of Kevin Sullivan when I think of those like wooden chairs. Like for some reason.
Wasn't Kevin Sullivan also involved in the match in the bathroom?
Yep.
At one of the pay-per-views where Dusty Rhodes was singing, "There's a lady in the men's room. I've seen it all." and then she, I think it was it woman kicked Benoit in the balls, and she said she kicked him in the thing, and he said, "Kick him again. He's got another one."
No. Woman was with Benoit, I think.
That was probably Jackie.
Yeah. Jackie probably. And let's not forget, even before that, the Dungeon of Doom, like he was doing like his match with Cactus Jack against the Nasty Boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like forget about it. That shit was off the charts good. So like it's just he was so like there was never a role where like Kevin Sullivan was on TV where I was like, oh God, get this guy off TV. Like he was that like captivating as a character.
Yeah, and he did it everywhere, man. He JCP, Smoky Mountain, ECW. it's funny. I was watching an old ECW from June, July of like 95, and it's Raven and Stevie Richards at the fucking beach at like 3:00 in the morning, and Stevie Richards like, I never believed in the devil until I saw Kevin Sullivan come out of the ocean with purple haze. Like it was just such a weird, like random ECW that I put on, and then for them to have that promo be a part of that episode at the time when Kevin Sullivan had just passed, I thought that was pretty wild. But yeah, he did it all, man. Fucking Varsity Club, Sullivan Slaughterhouse, fucking Dungeon of Doom, although that other, the 90, 98, 99 Varsity Club, we could forget about that.
Leia Meow? Come on, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Awful, dude. Come on.
Stop. She danced atop the ECW arena. I don't know what you're
Oh my God. Did she ever Extreme Warfare Volume 2? Get it now.
Was he in the original? Was he the leader of like the original Legion of Doom with like Jake the Snake and King Kong Bundy? Was that him, or am I making?
No, was that Paul Ellering?
Yes, that was Paul Ellering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's I'm sure we could do a whole show on Kevin Sullivan, but we got guests and we got segments and we got our guy HJK hand job Kyle in the house. Who's bringing him in?
I'll bring him in.
I'm just jerking by myself backstage.
Attaboy.
Thanks, pal.
You're welcome, buddy. Welcome back. Unfortunately, you missed missed a little brewski with HK, huh?
Yeah. I try to avoid that guy as much as possible, but no, if I had done better planning, I'm just pulling your putt, HK. Just pulling.
I wish you did.
Next year, we'll get some curds or whatever the fuck you guys do up there.
Veggie platters.
Right.
Sun chips.
Right.
Sun chips, veggie platter.
Is there a veggie equivalent to the cheese curd?
I'll tell you next year.
Oh, a little incent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could have thrown a football to where you were. What were you doing that so goddamn?
You couldn't have.
We couldn't get a fucking beer. What are you playing, tug of war?
Yeah.
With yourself?
Solo.
I mean, a lady never tells.
Hey, how do you know when you win?
Oh, you always win.
Out pretty quick.
By the way, just want to know. I literally less than 24 hours ago just watched that bathroom match between Kevin Sullivan and Benoit. It was fucking. It holds up. Yeah. It holds up. The wooden chairs, like I think KJG said, like right over the back of the head, is brutal. Brutal stuff.
The bathroom match, he called it. Like that.
It's they always went to the bathroom. I don't know, man. They were the original hand jibbers.
It's like there's Hell in a Cell, TLC, Falls Count Anywhere, bathroom match.
Come on, WCW 2000 had to do that at least once, right? You have to. It's
point.
like a boiler room match. You got to escape the bathroom, something like that.
Bro, we gotta book a bathroom match.
They did stupider shit.
Bathroom match on a pole.
Yeah, they almost killed Terry Funk on pay-per-view. Didn't he get kicked by a horse?
Almost.
Yes, he did.
Keep going to the shitter, boys. Safer than the stall.
But we are years beyond WCW, and we are in the throes of it here in the WWE. Roman Reigns is back at SummerSlam. Solo Sikoa is the new. He claims to be the HNIC.
What? What does that stand for again, Matthew?
I ain't saying it.
Okay.
I just used the initials, buddy.
Right.
Need me. Wow.
Did he say that?
I mean, in so many words, sure.
With his eyes, right?
Well, and that
Whoops. Whoa.
Is that y'all's HNIC right there?
And the thing he wears around his neck, that weird
Ted Mini in charge.
The
The
peppers.
jalapenos.
Some may say he's the taskmaster of the bloodline, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, no.
Thoughts? No. Thoughts? Anyone? The new Kevin Sullivan, maybe?
No, the new kid. No. Let's not.
Oh, come on now.
It's a little early to say.
Now, Kyle, where are you landing on this Solo Sikoa? Well, obviously, I think everybody thinks the big money is the Rock Roman, right? We didn't get that last year, but it looks like the path we're on, it's Roman Solo Sikoa.
Solo is a fascinating case to me because a year ago, this would have seemed like a huge match. Like people were clamoring for Solo to dethrone Roman at WrestleMania, even some people. Like he was a big deal. Even like back to his NXT days, like he had such a presence to him. Like to me, he was like pretty charismatic in NXT, but he also had like the Umaga kind of menacing deal about him. So it was like kind of different parts of the family he was incorporating. I thought he was doing a great job. And then even as like the enforcer of the bloodline, I thought he was doing great in that role. Didn't have to say anything, but could say everything with his body language. But now it's just like, and I get like he's the new tribal chief. I get it's very on the nose, like he's doing everything Roman does. Like he's the new tribal chief. But to me, it just makes him feel like a lesser than version of Roman rather than a different entity that Roman has to face. Right now, it just feels like a stepping stone to The Rock. I don't know how you guys feel, but this guy in his shitty little boots and his skunk hair, I ain't feeling it right now.
I feel like he's like really kind of stepped up, and I feel like anyone that assumed this role, whether it was Jimmy, whether it was Jay, whether Jacob Fatu ends up becoming the new head of this side of the table, I really do think like anyone was gonna feel lesser than Roman Reigns just because Roman Reigns is that dude.
Sure.
But I think Solo Sikoa has done a tremendous job, and I'll be honest with you, I underestimated his promo ability. He's really freaking good when he talks.
He is a good talker.
He makes you believe that he is the tribal chief with everything he does, with like the peppers around the necklace and all that stuff. Like he is like he's it. I'm excited for this, and I do think, like you said, you think we're gonna get to Roman versus Rock. I don't know how you get there, to be honest with you, because if we're doing War Games, Roman side versus Solo side, I don't know where Rock fits into that. Is Rock like the backer of the Solo bloodline? Like I don't know.
Or
He shows up in March. That's all. That's what he did last year. He just shows up
it's probably what it's going to be.
with his fucking People's Champion belt that he's going to hold up in the sky. That means absolutely nothing.
I'm the champ.
Yeah.
No.
Muhammad Ali's widow gave this to me. Did she? She
Here we
went
go.
to Jamar or whoever makes the belts nowadays and said, "Hey, I need a favor. My husband was the People's Champ. Can you make me a belt for The Rock? You smell what I'm cooking?"
That's good. That's good. I saw someone online pose a premise of what if there's like a third bloodline
Oh,
to The
saw that
Rock?
too.
Because you got Hikaleo floating around. You
Oh,
got
come on,
other
stop.
Fatus. Bloodline 3.0, gang.
No.
Is Zilla
Triple War
signed?
Games.
yeah. Put Tanaloa in charge and give all the scrubs that are left over to him, and they
Oh
could
my
do
God.
a quick.
Tonga, did you see the picture of him holding up the tag title on SmackDown?
Fucking
I saw
Tonga
that.
is my favorite wrestler in the world right now.
I like the eye
He's the
patch.
best.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but he held the belt like all like wonky. He didn't hold it like
He's
straight
got
up.
one eye, Double T. He's a little askew, a little cattywomp.
All right, but you could feel, right? You could feel where the where
They all do that.
ends.
Yeah, and
Everyone
apparently he
fucks
doesn't know
that
where
up.
testicles are either.
Who?
His ball shots aren't the greatest.
Come on
He
now.
can't hit a corner either.
Do you? let me ask you this, Kyle. Is the bigger match Roman Jacob Fatu because of the way that SummerSlam angle played out and the reports where the idea was that Jacob was to sell the injury, so he did not go in the ring and confront Roman?
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's where they're going. That's probably an after WrestleMania thing, if I would guess, or even much later down the road. But yeah, I think that's a bigger money match down the line. Because as of right now, I mean, Solo doesn't have much of a I'm not threatened by it. Like I don't think Roman should be threatened by him. Me as a viewer, I don't see any reason. Him and his tape. He has hand tape with a glove on it. Like pick one. Like what's the purpose of that? It's like 2 condoms.
He's
That's my real problem.
That's to deny yourself the pleasure, bro.
Thinking about this, do you think the turn with Solo would have been more impactful if he turned and had the Usos with him and it was Roman that had to bring new guys into his bloodline? Like it would feel more like he's overdoing the bloodline if he has like the originals with him instead.
Right. I think the money here is like original versus new. Like that's the overall theme. So I think it has to be the complete original bloodline against a new bloodline. I think it would have definitely added a more interesting dynamic maybe on the way to where they're going. But I think the things that they've done along the way are fine. It's to me, Solo doesn't feel turgid to me.
I tell you
Yes,
what,
no.
though, it's a great time to be an island boy. All you got to do is say, "Hey, I'm ready for the Bloodline feud. What do you got for me?" And they'll just sign you up.
Were you buying into Solo as a main eventer against Cody?
No. I mean, I didn't think there was zero chance of him winning at SummerSlam. But to go on and have like a long reign after that, I don't know. I didn't see it happening. I will say this though. I think there is probably money in Solo being a babyface in the future because, like I said, NXT, charisma wise, like just the way he talks, he's the closest to The Rock within the people that are on screen right now. Like he's a very entertaining guy on the mic. So I think that's where hopefully, like after all this Bloodline stuff wears down, I think you'll find success after that. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
That is
You mentioned. Oh, sorry, HK.
That's the biggest praise I've ever heard anybody give Solo on the mic. Closest.
I'm not saying he's as good as The Rock. I'm saying he speaks like The Rock. Like you go watch like NXT clips, like the way he is like
delivery wise.
Yes, his delivery. Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah. Do you think too much time? Do you think they did the attack on Paul Heyman? Like, has too much time passed now since that? Like, Paul Heyman's out of the picture. Like, I don't know. It just Roman coming back is huge, but I feel like we're just kind of spinning our tires here. No.
Yeah, it does feel like they're kind of stretching it a little thin. Like it felt like there was a few weeks in a row where it had the same ending of SmackDown over and over again. I get it; they're trying to solidify the new bloodline, but when it's not engaging to me, I find myself not caring a lot. And like when they had their face off on SmackDown this past week, I was like, Solo looks like a schlub next to Roman.
But don't forget
WWE's in no hurry to rush their storylines and rush returns and rush big events. So Roman coming back is that first big event. And then one day when Heyman comes back with Roman, that's going to be huge too. And I don't think they're in any hurry to rush that and give it all to us like one after the other, like right away.
And Heyman's smart. Heyman got destroyed by the werewolf.
Yeah,
they beat the piss out of him and they left him for dead.
There, yeah, good point.
He's not stupid. He's not coming back the next week and say, "Oh, I brushed it off." Right. He's a little fat Paul Heyman. They fucked his world
How
up.
dare you? Respect the wise man.
Might come back in Survivor Series. Maybe comes back, has a surprise. Maybe he brings back Brock Lesnar to help out Roman Reigns
or Curtis Axel.
Maybe we get a little Roman Reigns, CM Punk, all the old Heyman guys.
Ryback, Heidenreich, put them all together.
Oh, fucking dude! If Ryback came back, sign that shit.
Wait, did Heyman manage Heidenreich?
He sure did for a brief.
No way.
Yeah.
Against the Undertaker?
Hell yeah, brother. Casket match ski at Royal Rumble 05, I think it was.
Should bring back Ryback and where's 911 been?
Is he still around? 911?
Yeah, he's Big Al still alive.
Big Al.
He lives in South Jersey.
Big Al will be at the barbecue Sunday.
No, you should reach out to Big Al. He'll go.
I would love it. I would love to have Big Al at my house. I would just play fucking Frankenstein on repeat.
You had his son on the show. Maybe he can reach out.
Yeah.
Does the son wrestle?
Yeah, his son wrestles. His son is Big Vin, right?
Oh,
his son is 411. You call him when you need information.
I was trying to think of a fucking number. I couldn't think of one.
Kyle, what do you got coming up this Wednesday on the Apron Bump, buddy?
Ooh, your favorite. I don't know. I think it's the cycle. Every time I'm on here, I have a fucking progress episode coming up.
Fuck,
it was a fun one though. Had a former commentator on to talk about it. It was a good old time.
Do you play the game where you see how many of them have been canceled because they like molested little kids?
Oh Jesus! Come on.
I think there was only
a whole fucking UK scene.
They didn't all molest kids.
Okay. Drugged and sexually assaulted.
Why?
Some of them could have been of age.
Probably
still doesn't make it as good.
Why?
How many stupid chants during the show?
Aren't we interviewing a commentator tonight or somebody involved in broadcasting? I mean,
yeah, but he's not from the UK.
It doesn't matter. You're besmirching the entire industry by bringing this stuff up.
I didn't do it.
Nobody said you did.
Yeah, we got kid touchers in the U.S.
Oh, come on.
Some of them joined the chat.
Stirring somebody up in the chat. And I'm not going to be responsible.
Say the crime and he appears.
Scott George is on it.
believe in Buxumo.
What Kyle, what progress show are you guys doing here?
Chapter 39. It's where British Strong Style was formed. So somebody, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven.
Tyler Bate.
He turns heel on the show, which is fun.
Spoilers, bro.
Or does he?
Dude,
Or does he?
Do we still have the shields?
Yes, I asked the guy how long they had
Who's
the
the
shields.
guy?
Callum Leslie, former Progress
The only one
commentator.
left out there.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, he's Scottish actually, so it's more like hello, or however they talk. I don't know. How do Scottish people talk?
Like Scrooge McDuck.
Right. Yes.
What happened here?
Hello. Is that better?
What? We did the important stuff first, and then we get the ridiculous stuff. So,
Buck's a fan.
don't why? And all the comments that have happened in the first half an hour of the show, please don't. Please don't. Can you take that down, please?
Get on it.
I would have thought he'd be chanting for Marty Skull.
Who's Marty Skull?
Well, Kyle, a pleasure as always. We appreciate you joining us. Be sure to follow Kyle at Apron Bump on the Twitter machine every Wednesday. Brand new show. And sometimes he throws a bonus up on the YouTube, like his 2024 SummerSlam review.
Fun times over there. Appreciate you guys having me. Always a hootin' and nanny, as they say.
We love
Always
having
welcome,
you, Kyle.
Kyle.
You're the best.
I love you all.
Maybe next year you make it to the barbecue.
I don't think I actually got a formal invite, but that's a topic.
Everybody got a formal invite, bro. Come on.
Got a fucking formal invite.
Must have gotten stuck in the mail.
Yes, snail mail.
That's how people get invited to barbecues.
All right. Well, you're more than welcome to come up Sunday. I can get another queen-sized inflatable mattress for the living room.
Nah, I'm busy.
All right. Fair enough. Kyle, thanks a lot.
Fucking unbelievable. Perfect exit.
All right. Well, who's bringing in our guest now?
Wait. Really? We're going to bring him in? We're not going to chastise Matt for like these tangents that he was on all of a sudden?
You could chastise me. I mean, the poor guys were sitting there for 40 fucking minutes already.
I understand, but you bring up molestation to the new guy?
I was stupid early anyway, so.
As we talked about in the pre-show, if you're not early, you're late.
Exactly.
We're joined by the voice of many Midwestern professional wrestling companies. He calls himself the Loud Bald Man, Peapod.
Hi. Good evening, gentlemen.
What is a Peapod?
What is me? It was a random nickname that I got my senior year of high school, and then when I went to college, I did broadcasting. And that was my nickname there. It literally was a random name that somebody came up with me my senior year of high school, and I just used it. And then when I graduated college with a bachelor's of communications and joined corporate radio for 11 years, I used that as my on-air name. And then when I went into wrestling on the side, it just made perfect sense.
You are the husk of a pea.
Yes.
I Googled that.
The real peas is the friends along the way, really. Nothing on that one? Yeah, okay.
I don't know what that
joke
means.
anyway.
I don't have any friends.
Me neither.
Now, I see you're making the podcasting rounds there, Peapod.
I am. This is my third of 7 that I'm doing currently on this run because, as you mentioned, that I am the voice of a handful of Midwestern companies and trying to expand my reach, not only promoting myself, but also promoting my home promotion of Ruthless Pro Wrestling, based out of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. It is a deathmatch company. We have our annual deathmatch tournament happening the second year now, and it's happening on August 23rd and 24th. In Maybe, Michigan. It's just right outside of Ida, Michigan. If you know where Michigan is, it's in the Midwest. It's in the middle of nowhere at a veterans motorcycle club. Like you go past like nothing and fields, and all of a sudden there's just this giant building, and we're gonna have deathmatch wrestling happening over the weekend on August 23rd and 24th and streaming live on IWTV. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making my rounds, talking with some new folks, pimping myself out, whoring out great other independent companies, and doing the thing. So, yeah.
All right. Ruthless Pro Wrestling, King of the Kill. let's get your prediction now. Who's your early favorite to win this?
Oh
deathmatch?
man, I went deep in this, and one of 7 podcasts that I'm going to be on the next couple of weeks with a Spooky Dust podcast. I said I was going to go with one of two choices, either Judge Joe Dredd, and if you're familiar with anything in the independent scene or the deathmatch scene, Dredd is kind of white hot right now, especially in 2024. But another one that doesn't get enough flowers, in my opinion, and does a lot of great work as a tag team with his brother, but he does some phenomenal stuff solo, is Otis Cogar. But we have 8 crazy ass gentlemen that's going to be a part of this tournament. We have Brooklyn Black Death, Casanova Valentine. We have our RPW Rust Belt Deathmatch World Champion. He's currently in the UK right now defending it. The choke artist, Lou Nixon. We have one of the finalists from last year's tournament, Dr. Redacted. We have the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, absolute legend in the deathmatch circuit. We have the human meat grinder known as Schlack, and the old timer, Jeff King. And they're all going to be competing for a gorgeous title belt that we've done as a prize this year. We don't do like cups or medals or anything like that. They have these phenomenal custom made one of a kind title belt made by Hyperion Championship belts. And that's what they're fighting for. Plus, we got some other non-tournament action. We are having our friends at Flophouse Wrestling do the night before as kind of a precursor. For those who like the green, and I'm not talking about salads, we'll have an all-night smokeout hosted by 4-time former Stanley Cup winner Darren McCarty, and the man who's behind Flophouse, Schwartzy, going to do a smokeout. Plus, Severin Films going to be doing a all-night horror movie marathon, and then on Saturday, the day of the tournament, we'll have live music, vendors, food, weapons making with a lot of our crew in RPW, and then we'll do the tournament, and the shows will be live on IWTV. So if you are in the Michigan area or want to travel, if you're kind of a couple of states away, ruthlesspro.com, or you can watch live on IWTV.
What goes into a weapons making situation?
It's more like making either cleaning light tubes, learning how to string up certain items in a proper way, maybe getting certain weapons set up. I remember last year we had 400, 500, 600 light tubes, and we were making them into log cabins. We were duct taping them to boards. We had other people bring in weapons old televisions or, computer screens and everything. A lot of breakables stuff, and just kind of, getting set up together. We had a giant, we took the frame of a trampoline, and in lieu of the bouncy part of the trampoline, we wrapped that in barbed wire. So it was like a spider web. Nice. So in the finals, yeah, I know, right?
They still bounce off that too.
Yeah, they'll bounce. Yeah, they'll bounce. In the finals of our winner and our inaugural King of the Kill champion, Tommy Vendetta, who will be kind of like the final boss, the Shang Tsung, if you will, of this year's tournament. So the person has to go through 7 other men and then face the final boss. Well, in the finals last year, there was a huge spot where Dr. Redacted and Tommy Vendetta was on top of a U-Haul truck, and then one got thrown off the top of the U-Haul truck and landed on that spiderweb barbed wire trampoline.
Jeez. Will the dude in the diaper be there?
Will their dude in a diaper be there?
Yeah, the guy that stuck the needle through his dick.
The body? No, the body will not. The body will not be. He does not wrestle for us. He is not part of us.
Yeah, so. That needle through the dick seems a little excessive.
It's a little excessive. We do have wrestlers that have stuck needles into each other's faces. One being Chuck Stein. That's kind of a calling card of his. He'll recently at our last show called Scum of the Earth. He did a spot with Remington Roar where he stuck needles inside the cheeks of his opponent, and then Remington Roar turned it around and stuck needles in the eyelids of Chuck Stein. It was kind of brutal. It made me a little uneasy, and I've called some uneasy spots in deathmatch wrestling. That one was all right, this is obnoxious.
Did he kick out at 2?
He did kick out at 2.
Would you say that's the most painful spot you've seen? Or
I've seen people get dropped on dry ice. I've seen like John Wayne Murdoch against Yusaku Ito from our Jersey show called Miasma. That was during WrestleMania weekend. He did a move that he I think he suplexed off the top rope Ito on like a styrofoam box, but that had needles sticking out of it, like safety pins sticking out. So like when he slammed onto it, like some of them like stuck into them. Yeah, deathmatch wrestling is not for the light of heart. So
come a long way from the fucking Japanese tapes I was buying in the late 90s where it was like alligator deathmatch and there's a fucking 2 baby alligators and a fish tank in the middle of the ring.
I mean, if you're talking about classic, Japanese death matches, you go look at Onita with the exploding barbed wire death match. And Matt Tremont did one of those in America a few years back ago, and he's still like scarred from his like back and everything from some of the burns and everything. It's brutal. It's brutal. Yeah. I don't do just death matches. Ruthless Pro Wrestling is my home. But I do stuff with like Flophouse Wrestling, which is a little bit of a mixed bag, fun for all. I do a family friendly promotion called Fantastic League of Wrestling, or FLOW for short. That's based out of the Indiana area, and I got a show with them later in August as well. I do some post-production work for a couple of companies, one based out of Salt Lake City, Utah, called the Lucha Project. I do stuff for another company that is about launching out of the Connecticut area called TF Crew. And I'm in talks with a couple of other companies, and I'm just kind of I've been doing commentary for about 3 years now, and like now it's on the point where I kind of want to like break out more and be kind of a Swiss Army knife and a lot of my favorite independent commentators.
With like going through deathmatch wrestling, and then like you say, going into kind of more of a family friendly wrestling show, or more of a variety wrestling show, how does your commentary change, like your delivery, or does it?
That's a very good question. I do a lot of research first off, in like backgrounds on wrestlers and background on the company and everything. I mean, with deathmatch wrestling, it's a little bit more looser, gruesome. You can maybe curse when you want to, but I try to kind of stick in the same way. Being a radio broadcaster for 11 years before doing, wrestling on the side, I still have that kind of that broadcasting style, and I try to present myself more of like, these people are hitting each other with very questionable objects, but at the same time, I want to give it a broadcaster style because I'm the narrator of this violence. So, I want to keep you involved. I never want to take away from what's going on. I'm not the star, the wrestlers are. I always say that commentating is like curtains on a house. When they're bad, they're very noticeable. When they're good, they just kind of tie the room together. So they kind of just flow.
I like that.
So I went to college for communications, took a lot of radio courses. My dad has been on the air for like 30 years in radio. What was your forte in terms of your broadcasting career? Like, and how did that prepare you for getting into wrestling? Like, were you a news guy? Were you a sports guy? Were you a weather guy? Were you
So I started my first couple of years, I was running just the soundboards for sporting games, and I've never really been a sports guy. I've always been a professional wrestling fan since I was little, but I was never a sports guy. And then I transitioned after about 3 years or so, started doing weekends on a rock station. And then I moved to afternoons with a rock station. And then I started doing mornings on a rock station. And most of my radio career was doing mornings on an alternative rock station in my town in Toledo, Ohio. And then I started doing stuff for like classic rock and top 40. And then I also did stuff behind the scenes with like a little bit of an event marketing and promoting for like the radio events and live broadcasting that way. I also helped run social media pages and, digital aspects and digital ads and things like that. So when I left radio in April of 2021, and I decided to pursue other marketing jobs because I kind of hit a glass ceiling at radio. I always said that, radio got me prepared for wrestling. Kind of work really hard for not a lot of money, kind of grinding, a little bit of politics here and there, even though I kind of stay out of it. And I just kind of, focus in my professionalism, say, hello, here, I'm so-and-so, where can I help with? Do a lot of grind, getting background information, everything. So a lot of those skills kind of transferred over, but like calling wrestling and like introing Nickelback songs are completely different. So, but I mean, I had the cadence. I know how to talk to a microphone. I know how to not get too close or not be too far away. I know how to present yourself. I know how to breathe and speak. I know how to, change with the ties when something goes awry and kind of go from there. So the building blocks for regular broadcasting help me for, radio, for wrestling broadcasting. But everything else has just been kind of trial by fire. So, I just kind of got thrown into it, and I started in the world of deathmatch, which is already a niche product within a niche product that is pro wrestling. So if you can make it there and then like from deathmatch kind of do it all, then I feel like you kind of have an upper hand, because you're already have like in a weird world off to the side, and then you kind of like fade into like normalcy. Is like, oh, I can call regular matches and regular storylines, and there's not a lot of blood or gore and everything. So you kind of take those elements away from you.
Yeah.
I want to go to the chat here. SJ wants to know if it would be a dream to do commentary for New Japan.
I would love to do anything more on television wrestling. New Japan, obviously. I actually have met and trained a little bit with Walker Stewart, who is the main New Japan pro wrestling English commentator, and he's a young kid. He's in his mid-20s, but he sounds and he holds himself like he has decades of experience. He's gonna go far in the business. Some of my favorite commentators are like Ian Riccaboni of Ring of Honor. It's always my go-to. I enjoy, Veda Scott. I think she's fantastic in the work that she does. Nick Maniwa, who has done stuff from like IWA Mid-South from the early days. And, I've called a show with him, and he's fantastic. He helped me get in the door in a couple of other companies. I love Tony Schiavone. I think Schiavone is a fantastic commentator. You could talk about some of the classics. Like JR and Jerry the King Lawler, Taz does a fantastic job. But the Ian Riccaboni, Veda Scott, Nick Maniwa are my like 1, 2, 3 of my favorites of how they present themselves and their styles and everything. But I would love to do either like television, like wrestling, whether it's like NWA or MLW or AEW or WWE, if I ever get to that point. But I also would like to be like kind of the go-to voice of any promotion. So if I'm on a booked show with whatever company, you know what you're kind of expecting, and how it's going to sound and the presentation and everything.
Yeah, and you definitely have, like, just the last few minutes of having you on here, you definitely have a very unique voice. How important is the actual sound of your voice to being, I guess, asked to like do these shows? Like, do you have to have like a distinct, unique voice to do it? Because you do.
Well, thank you. I mean, and that's just years of training my voice in the broadcasting style. Like I said, I came from a very strict broadcasting corporate style, and then I went into independent wrestling, which is a little bit more loose and everything. So I guess some of those skills transferred over. Have a unique voice. I mean, it can help or it can hurt. Because if you're too unique, it kind of takes everything away from what you're listening to. But if you are very unique enough that you kind of stand out in a good way, then you're not like every other wrestler that, or commentator or wrestler turned commentator or whomever. You need to have that right combination of like excitement, but narrator, but also you need to find something that you can stick out. So when you like send your reel or something, or you want to reach out to other companies and going, this is what I've done, here's some of the examples. You want to know when to be excited, when to shout, when to hold back, when to not talk is also a big reason. It's all the combination of that. So you can have kind of a plain quote unquote voice, but you can also have a unique voice and still do well but you can also have a plain voice and still do well. It's just kind of the building blocks, in my opinion, behind that.
If one of these companies came to you that have TV, MLW, NWA, so forth, so on, they said, "We love you, but we hate the name."
I mean, I'd be willing.
What would you change your name to, though? Would you be like the Cougar? I'm the Cougar.
I mean, I have a couple of other names that I've tossed around. I've used Peapod for so long that I think it's unique enough that makes me, stand out. But also it's, I always love like the one name names because it's easy to, round off and everything. But there's a couple of other names that I've rambled off, and I've also used it as a side, alias in some radio shows when the name Peapod wouldn't fit the idea. So I'd be willing to change it. It would hurt a little bit, but because I've been Peapod since the senior year of high school, which was like 2004. So, a good chunk of my life, I'm 38 years old. So a good chunk of my life, if you want to do the math, what has been named Peapod, either in a professional sense or a personal sense, because a good chunk of my friends still call me that to this day.
Yeah. If there's room for Excalibur, there's room for a Peapod.
Absolutely.
Does your wife call you Peapod?
She does not. But funny story, she'll talk about me to some of our mutual friends, and because my real name is Chris, and then they go, "Who?" And they're like, "Peapod, my husband." And they're like, "Oh," so they joke. But it also helps in our company because, funny enough, the promoter's name is also Chris, and the head of our weapons crew is also named Chris. So we have 3 Chris's in the same company. So we have to call each other something different. Luckily, I came up with a built-in nickname. The head of our crew has a nickname. So it all and our promoter is named his real name.
How does one become the head of the weapons crew?
You work hard enough, and you want to you're willing to take responsibility off of the promoter, because he also helps try to get like people or green kids to come, and if they want to like get in the door of RPW, they come and show out, help set up, help clean up during the show, help clean up after the show, which is a big thing. So if any wrestlers wants to, be in a part of Ruthless Pro, do all 3 of those, especially the cleanup post show, because you have no idea how many shows I've done that I've spent the entirety of the night helping to clean, and cleaning glass and stuff in out of certain venues is quite a chore.
What's the weirdest weapon you've ever seen?
That's a good question. I have to think.
I've
seen like machetes be used. I've seen I hate carpet tacks, carpet strips. Those are just always brutal, and I hate those. Obviously a go-to weapon is the gusset plate. If you don't know what a gusset plate is, it helps hold up foundations of homes. So it's just like a small bit of steel and steel needles, and they shove each other and sometimes in each other's faces.
Nice.
I've seen light tube nunchucks. So it's like just 2 light tubes connected to a chain. Lou Nixon likes to use those.
Has the drill dough made its way out to?
Actually, surprisingly, yes. That has happened in a couple of our matches. A drill, a dildo attached to a drill. You'll see those recently at our show called Miasma in New Jersey. It was part of a red light district death match, as we called it.
Was it Louis?
Ramos?
Was it Louis?
What it was?
Louis.
Fucking innovative.
Love Louis.
So yeah, so Louis was a part of Low Life Louis, fantastic dude, and he has been a part of our Jersey shows. So,
and he's got his kid involved with him now. They're a tag team called Cum.
Yeah, Cum. Yeah,
it's like any other father and son playing with Legos. The 2 of them just fucking trying to figure out ways to make dildos deadly weapons.
Exactly.
It's fucking fantastic. I got nothing else to add. What else can you say about Louis?
Oh, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Peapod, this has been an absolute pleasure. You can follow Peapod at Peapod Calls.
The number 4 and the letter U, and that's on all the socials. And also, you can do the same username, but then add @gmail.com at the end of it. And that's how you can go for booking. Ruthless Pro Wrestling King of the Kill 2. That is happening August 23rd and 24th with Flophouse beforehand. And then King of the Kill on the 24th. And that's live on IWTV. And then check out Fantastic League of Wrestling on August 31st in Monticello, Indiana. And then I'm also part of Divine's Women's Pro Wrestling. That's happening in September, an all women's promotion. I'll be doing commentary for that as well. That's happening in Wyandotte, Michigan. And then just follow me on social media if you're interested in a loud bald man that calls himself a vegetable.
He did it all for me. I had it all right here, and he just did it all for me.
He's a
That's
professional.
what I do, baby.
Yeah.
He knew I was gonna fuck something up or stutter or stammer or mispronounce something. So Peapod knows. He was in the chat for long enough before we started the show.
I did. I showed up. I kept seeing on social media, hey, come at, we started broadcasting 7. I'm just like, I know it's probably like my segment's at 7:30, but I'm gonna come in early just so nothing bad happens.
Did you if you've never listened to the show before, would you listen to the show after sitting through the segments?
Absolutely not. No, I'm kidding. I would. It was very enjoyable. You guys have a good dynamic, and doing 702 episodes of anything is quite impressive. So congratulations on all of you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Peapod. We'd love to have you back in the future. Anytime you want to come by, just hang out, shoot the shit.
Please do. I'd be happy to. I like to whore myself out on podcasts, but in all seriousness, I love talking wrestling of all sorts. So happy if you ever need a fill in or whatever, please hit me up.
We appreciate you, Peapod.
Sounds good.
Be sure, guys, follow Peapod if you're watching on YouTube. All his information has been scrolling across the bottom of the screen, so be sure to follow and check out Peapod, and check out King of the Kill too. I know Tony just did the XPW show a couple months ago, so maybe Tony's moving towards the deathmatch stuff. So maybe
if you watched XPW, RPW, I like to call ourselves professional degenerates. You'll have a good time. I highly recommend it.
Awesome.
Well, we had a great time with you tonight, Peapod. And,
thank you, guys.
We would love to talk to you in the near future. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night.
You as well.
And enjoy that beautiful Ohio weather on this Monday night. We're going to go to a break here with a little Nickelback.
What a douche.
Double T in the house.
Look at this photograph.
Oh, come on. Look what you started now.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
Horrible.
We're acting like animals. This one's from Nickelback.
It's good. It's good.
WDIK, the dicks of the fucking internet. Thank you, Peapod, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know where we go from there.
You go to Nickelback live.
Since you didn't bring it up, I'm going to bring it up because Eric Freeds brought it up.
Who?
And SJ in the chat. No question? Are we not doing that?
No, we never said we weren't doing it.
I mean, Peapod seems like he might have been game for a question like that.
I'm sure he would. Look, after post 700, it's a different Wizards. Not in a bad way.
Yeah, we just talk about British people molesting little girls.
No, but look.
Yeah, that hasn't changed, Tony.
And calling Samoans the HNIC. What are we doing?
I didn't say it. I said HNIC. You could fucking decipher that however you want.
I think Morgan Freeman said it pretty clearly.
Yeah.
I didn't say it, so I didn't say
If you're going to do it expeditiously and joke.
Glad it wasn't me this time.
We're trying to do 2-hour shows. We're not trying to have hour interviews. So sometimes don't make it.
I get it.
All right. I don't want to hear you fucking complaining over here on the screen with me, Tony. Like,
I didn't complain.
No, but you're like, oh, you didn't do this. Like, do you want to do a 2-hour show or do you want to do a 2-hour, 45-minute show?
Yeah, but I think you kind of built it up where that was like the question of the guests,
Well, it wouldn't be fair to Handsome Kevin if I get to ask my questions and he doesn't get to
ask.
ask.
Fuck Handsome Kevin and his questions. I mean, I think if there's any one question people look forward to, it's the shit your pants question.
Is it though?
I think so. More than your deodorant or your other fucking gross habits. More than the horse meat question. I think the shitting your pants question is what we're known for.
When I think of somebody I want to get on the show, I first think like, I wonder if they have a good shitting pants story.
Thank you, Brundo.
Right, so
Even Matt Spock is in on this.
Nah, Matt, you didn't.
I fumbled the ball.
No, you didn't.
You know what? He might have had a great shitting his pants story.
I mean, he's
Peapod,
seen
if
people
anything-
get fucking shit poked in their eyelids. You would think he'd have a shitting his pants story.
Gross. Shit, the eyelids.
Maybe there's more than peas in the Peapod. We didn't know, and we didn't find out. Look, it's fair enough. I just wanted to ask. I wanted to ask you. What do you think? That's all. That's
No,
all.
it's good. Look, but there's an explanation. We're not going away from it. It just
That's fair. I guess when the guy's talking about gusset plates and fucking light bulb nunchucks and drill doughs, I know. What do you get? What do you get? You get one hit on a fucking like.
you can't get any probably.
It seems like a lot of work for like one. Like.
Yeah. What if
I'll highlight this one for Matt. Which one's worse? Eat.
The only thing harder to watch than needles to the eyelids would be an evil match. Zook, is that your Zook? You're right. Zook is 100% right. We're gonna talk some WWE when we get back. We're gonna talk some AEW. We're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna get shit in our pants. I don't know.
Yeah. By the way,
nope. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, what?
Don't do it.
What? You don't know what I'm gonna do?
I do know what you're gonna do.
What?
You're gonna pull up that comment.
No, I'm not pulling up that comment. I would just tell you, it's been 6 days. KJG, give me 3.
Back after this.
We would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in every week to listen to The Shining Wizards. Here are some other ways in which you can support the show. If you shop on Amazon, visit amazon.shiningwizards.com and shop the way you always do. You'll pay the same low prices, and a portion of your purchase will help support the show. If you'd like to buy a Shining Wizards t-shirt, visit merch.shiningwizards.com to visit our pro wrestling tee store and select from over a dozen great designs. You can also become a Patreon supporter at patreon.shiningwizards.com, where we offer bonus content, producer credits, special legend shows where you participate in the show, and so much more. Continue to listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show live on social media. Don't forget to like, rate, review, and subscribe. Your continued support helps us to keep bringing you the best in professional wrestling podcasting.
It's time for your weekly lineup of shows on the Shining Wizards Network. On Mondays, it's the latest from Gorilla Brain, featuring the year of Duke and Rowe, covering a year's worth of classic wrestling, and the Tots Pod, introducing the world to wrestling action figure collecting. Also on Mondays, it's 30 Screams or Less, a weekly review of horror movies in 30 minutes or less. On Tuesdays, it's the Shining Wizards, covering everything in the world of pro wrestling. On Wednesdays, it's the Mark Order Podcast, keeping you up to date on everything AEW. On Fridays, it's Horns Up, as Radioactive Metal brings you everything in the world of heavy metal music. And on Saturdays, it's the ROH Revelry, covering everything in the history of Ring of Honor. The Shining Wizards Network is also the home to other great shows, like Bread Club, bringing you the latest from New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Brocast, your watch-along from Down Under, featuring the greatest wrestling matches in history. Turnbuckle throwbacks, paying homage to the greatest shows in the history of pro wrestling. Wrestling Night in Canada, a focus on wrestling with a north-of-the-border spin. Going Underground, taking you back to everything in the history of Lucha Underground. An inconclusive breakdown, keeping you up to date on everything happening in the world. Enjoy all of the amazing shows on the Shining Wizards Network, available wherever you listen to podcasts and at shiningwizardsnetwork.com. It's the Shining Wizards Network. Entertainment here.
I don't like how the robot says homage.
Homage.
You like the way he says Lucha Underground? By the way, that's Milwaukee Tom's latest project, Going Underground. It's, going into the history of Lucha Underground. Lucha. So tune in. I think he's doing it monthly, so it's going to be, periodically published. But check it out. Good stuff.
Check it out and shake it up.
Shake it up.
Again, thanks to Peapod. Be sure to follow the Peapod on the Twitter machine at Peapod. Calls the number for you. And of course, Kyle from the Apron Bump Podcast joined us earlier for his monthly segment. Next week, we will all return to Studio A. Handsome Kevin will be in town. Island Boy Al will be in town. It will be Brundo's first trip to Studio A. And it's a long time coming for me and KJG, because I think the last time we were there was about this time last year.
Yep.
So we'll be doing I can't tell you what kind of show it's going to be next week. We're all going to be in the studio. It'll probably be complete and utter chaos.
Yep.
But if you enjoy that, I mean, be sure to join us. And if you're not watching on YouTube, please check us out on YouTube, youtube.com, The Shining Wizards. And if you're listening in podcast form, remember to hit that like button, leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate that. And I think we can all agree on this. Maybe we don't. I don't know. But I appreciate what the WWE is doing right now. We broke the news last week during the show, myself, KJG, KTG, that Randy Orton will be the challenger to Gunther at the Bash at Berlin. And Randy was quick to point out the shoulders were not down at the King of the Ring. Thus, we have our first challenger for Gunther. How do you guys think this went?
Makes sense. Makes sense. It gives Gunther a viable, established superstar, multi-time former world champion, to be that first challenger. It not only helps establish Gunther as the top guy, but it also helps establish the world title, which doesn't have that much lineage at this point. So I think it's the right way to go.
I really like that they played into my shoulder wasn't up.
Yep.
Like I really like that they didn't just brush past. I know Triple H had addressed it in the press conference after that event, but I like how they're working that back in, and I think that you're absolutely right. I think that Randy Orton as a first challenger is going to be fantastic. I think it'll be a hell of a match.
I mean, yeah, Orton's a guy that he's not going to lose, or a loss in that first match isn't going to hurt him. So he's literally probably the perfect guy for this spot.
No question, it's a money match without a doubt. I don't know if you guys saw SmackDown, but when Cody Rhodes
what?
SmackDown?
That's two.
I'm going.
What happened? What did I miss? Smack Deezy. Oh. So I forgot that Randy Orton decided to challenge Gunther for the world title when I was watching SmackDown, and I saw that Cody offered the WWE Championship to Kevin Owens. And I'm like, what a great plot device that would have been if Randy Orton got so pissed off at that, and then that would further the storyline of potentially Randy Orton turning on Cody. But in a nutshell, in a vacuum, Randy Orton challenging Gunther is a home run. It's perfect. And Cody versus Kevin on the SmackDown side for that main belt is also a home run the way they did that.
And I think we talked about this last week too, like NXT guys who are back in the WWE, but they don't really have a home. And some guys are NXT guys and other guys are destined for great things. And then, we finished the show last week and Bronson Reed makes an unbelievable impact and he takes out Seth Rollins. Were you guys surprised to see this? Because I definitely thought Seth Rollins would be involved in the CM Punk, Drew McIntyre story going forward.
It was fucking awesome. It was so good. It was one of those spots that it was so violent and vicious that the crowd actually kind of did the turn. And like, yes, keep going. And he fucking did. Like, he annihilated Seth Rollins and kept on going and going and go. And then they brought him out of the ring. And then he got back in the ring. Off the top again. It was fucking amazing. It sounds like Seth Rollins needs to take time off now, right. health issues. But if that's that's his exit, right? He's got something to come back to. And Bronson Reed showed that he can be a fucking monster, that he needs to be for the roster, for his spot. They did it fucking perfectly. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I agree. And what made it so good is that you just didn't see it coming. Like you did not see that aspect of it. Maybe you saw him like being a douche, but like you did not see that like vicious side of it, splash after splash after splash. And in one night, Bronson Reed became one of those guys that we talk about every week that Triple H pushes for that just doesn't connect, like a Santos Escobar, like a Karrion Kross, like these guys. And now all of a sudden, now I care about what Bronson Reed is going to do. How is he going to talk about this next week? Like, what is he going to say that he put Seth Rollins out on the shelf for a while? And it's perfect. Now you can do whatever you want with Bronson Reed now until Seth comes back.
Were you surprised at the crowd reaction? Like, because they weren't there at first, but when he just kept on going and going, they kind of made the turn on it until they were chanting one more time, and he fucking did it. And then one more time, he fucking did it again. It blew my balls off.
I was more surprised with actually how many times that they ended up committing to doing it. Like they committed to this.
Yes,
that was awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Brenda, yes. Tony, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm digging it. I've always been a big Bronson Reed fan, so this is a perfect way to get him back in, destroy one of the top guys for however long. I'm really interested to see where they go with him next. Like, because he's probably not going to go IC champion or to Gunther. Like, now if it's Rollins is going to be out for a while, who's next on Bronson Reed's hit list? So maybe like Sami Zayn or somebody like that.
Did he really listen to the crowd, dude? Go one more time, though?
Did he? What do you mean? Did he?
Somebody said one more time, and he did it again.
Oh, he did it multiple times, man. It was not like one more time chant. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it one more time. Now I'm done.
Yeah, but Tony, you gotta understand. Like he was probably going to do it one more time, regardless whether.
Oh, so he was. So he just kept doing it, and they just kept fucking.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And the way that it was done too to end it. Like he went back up to the top rope again after leaving the ring, I think the second time. And Seth Rollins finally just rolled, like they pushed him out and away, so he couldn't get him from the top rope again. It was so perfect, man.
I think they said 6 tsunamis that he hit him with. Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. And then they ride the wave, right? You get that AOP New Day story where Karrion Kross has been trying to get between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and he continues to interfere in this tag match, Karrion Kross, and out of the blue, it's Odyssey Jones, another great surprise, man.
Absolutely.
So Odyssey Jones is kind of like becoming a wedge between Kofi and Xavier Woods, though, isn't he?
No. Yes, but not by his intent.
Right.
Xavier Woods is more mad at Kofi for not telling him that Odyssey Jones was going to be involved. So he was wearing a New Day shirt too, by the way.
Oh, he's hamming it up. I look, you can't replace Big E, but I think, it's clear that his injury right now, it just is keeping him on the shelf, and why not take this opportunity? And look, Karrion Kross, the AOP, they've been planting those seeds of doubt in Xavier Woods' head, and this just plays more into that story with Odyssey Jones showing up, Kofi being jacked up about it. What I didn't like was that they're doing this backstage segment, and then fucking Akira Tozawa and Otis show up, and fucking Xavier Woods just like starts dancing. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
There's history there, though.
I know, but it's like the New Day. There are people who will argue that they are one of the greatest tag teams ever, right? They had the belts. They broke the Demolition title record. They've cemented themselves from what the New Day was supposed to, what we saw as them at the beginning to what they are now. And here we're on the precipice of there being dissension in the New Day, and it's broken up by a fucking dance-off. Come on.
I like that because it takes your mind off of the dissension only for it to be more impactful when it comes back. Like, to me, like, breaking it up, Xavier Woods, we're not turning him yet. We're going to. but we're still making you believe that he's a good dude. And by that, and like, you're nasty. That's what Xavier Woods always used to say to Tozawa when he did his dance as part of the Alpha Academy. So I don't mind that at all. I think it lightens it up for when we actually do get that Xavier Woods turn.
For the rest of you,
your WWE World Tag Team Champion. You know what? They're not. I mean, New Day's just there. Odyssey Jones coming in. He's going to wind up being a breakout. He's getting that opportunity. I mean, New Day is kind of. I don't even want to put them in an R-Truth category because what do they really do anymore? You know, they're just kind of there. So why not put them to use and give the rub to Odyssey Jones? Right?
Yeah, fresh coat of paint on the New Day, basically.
Yeah. Like Demolition Blast.
Blast.
I would have gone
right over Crush and went Blast.
Yeah, well, rest in peace, Crush.
wow. All right.
What?
No, I was just
no respect for Brian Adams. Wait, which one is he?
Yeah,
he's Brian
he's
Adams,
Brian
right?
Adams, yeah. Brian Clark is Adam.
Brian Clark is still with us.
Yes.
Bomb and
Yeah,
everything.
He's looking for 700.
The Bomb Squad, yes.
We got to see the comeuppance with the Judgment Day as Damian Priest wrestled JD McDonough, and then what we all thought was going to happen happened. Rhea came to save the day. Her and Damian Priest embraced. The fucking crowd is going banana.
So where do you think this goes? You think it's like a new Judgment Day with like Dom, Liv, and the Remnants, and then Priest and Rhea are going to be together for a bit? Like, are we still playing this out?
That's what it is. Yeah, that is kind of what they're angling at right now is the what you call the Remnants there being the Judgment Day, and now we'll just have to see where they go with Priest and Rhea, because you would think that they would have to enlist somebody to.
No, I think we get a mixed tag match, and then we're gonna get Rhea and Priest and Dom and what's her nuts
Liv.
Yeah. What do you think of Liv walking around showing her hiney off? She's like, Dom wants this,
Part of me feels like you got to keep Rhea with Damian for a little bit. Like, I think they called them like the Terror Twins. So like, I hope that doesn't stick because that's a goofy name.
No,
but
I kind of like that actually.
You like the Terror Twins? Okay, I can respect that.
I mean, look, when the remnants of the Wyatt family became the Bludgeon Brothers, I was cool with that.
All right, that's
they come
fair.
out them big fucking hammers and they were destroying everybody.
Oh, yeah, I don't hate it, but I feel like you need to keep Rhea.
Fucking underrated. Oh yeah.
No, it was there. I was with him.
I think you need to keep Rhea with Damian just to solidify Damian. Even though Damian got a great babyface reaction on Raw, I think you need to keep Rhea with him for at least a little bit until they do this blow-off match with the four of them, or whether it's Finn and Liv or Dom and Liv. It's got to be Finn, right?
And it's nice because it gives Damian something to do rather than rushing right back to the title picture.
Right. And it gives Finn something to do, meaningful.
Yeah, but like the title is not like in his sights right now. His in his sights is these guys fucked me. I'm going to get at each and every one of them.
Right.
I don't know
so
that the title.
Huh?
I don't know that the title is going to be in his sights again.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like you're forcing Damian Priest to like, I want my rematch. It's like now he just immediately shifted focus to screw the guys over that screwed him over, And I think it keeps him in an upper spot because, I mean, I don't know so much about JD McDonough, but a lot of people, Finn Balor's still like one of the upper tier guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dom's been established as an upper tier guy. Liv Morgan is the women's champion. So he's still in there near the top of the card. It's just different focus now that Gunther's running in another direction.
Don't you forget about Carlito.
Why is he there?
Spit in your face.
Why is he there?
Dude, he's like the heel R-Truth.
How come he can't be like LWO? Like, why? Like
he was.
And he was. So put him back.
Now the LWO is falling apart. They're wrestling to see who's gonna challenge for the Speed Championship or whatever title.
Oh, we're getting a women's Speed Champion too, by the way. Didn't you guys talk about that last week that the women need a Speed title? Somebody brought it up.
May have been in jest.
Is it going to be
Asking
Nia
ye
Jax?
shall receive. Pay attention, folks. People listen to this show.
They do. And then we wrap up Raw. And I don't think we've really had a chance to talk about the Wyatt Six.
Yes.
Six. S-I-C-K-S. 6.
Yes.
But I know when we got introduced to them and they did the weird thing where everyone was beat up and dead, we were kind of like, are they going to go in this like weird, like TNA, Rosemary is killing the bunny, and that's how she, like, we're watching, like, we're really going to go into the dark side and the mystics, or are we going to get this presentation where the masks kind of signify like how they feel, and that's the direction they went. And I think it's so far been a fucking slam dunk home run. They wrestled what do they call
American made.
American made.
American made.
American made.
George just popped me in the chat room. He said that shouldn't be a problem. Every women's match is a speed match. Sorry, that got me. That tickled me. We saw the debut of the Wyatt Six in ring. It was Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy against Chad Gable, Julius, and Brutus Creed. This was awesome. Fucking phenomenal. The Eric Rowan video they showed earlier in the night too. Chef's kiss.
It was Gacy, I think.
Oh, it was Gacy. I'm sorry. The Rowan one was so powerful 2 weeks ago that it's still kind of stuck in my brain. But it was fucking awesome. It was awesome. Rowan doing the yeah and the beard twirl, like fucking great. Just great.
Wait, yeah, like Vincent?
No, like Brody Lee.
Oh. Did he throw papers and say fuck every other word?
No. He didn't, Tony. Way to fucking poo-poo an awesome moment.
I love the direction they're going with this.
I love the Exalted One. Brody Lee, the Exalted One. I mean, he cursed a lot, but it was funny shit, dude. He was making all those assholes feel like the assholes they were. Dark Order. Pizzeria Uno's on Ring of Honor jobbing, isn't he?
You just call the Dark Order assholes?
Yeah, they were, dude.
They are now, right? They're
pretty much
Ring of Honor. There's only 3 of them left.
Yeah.
The best 3.
It's a short order.
Lots of jobbers on Ring of Honor these days, huh?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But I think I told this to Hans with Kevin the
Not
other.
too many premier wins either, huh, Brundo?
I've accepted the fact that Ring of Honor is like AEW NXT. So now
you lowered your standards and now you enjoy the show.
It's serviceable. I've watched the last 2 weeks. There's some stuff they're doing that makes sense, but I don't want to get off topic here with the Wyatt Six here.
No, that's okay. Right. No, we were talking about Brody Lee. That's all.
Yeah,
we're good.
You're poo-pooing over a beautiful moment.
I was not. I love Brody Lee, the gimmick with the Exalted stuff. That's why I brought it up.
What was the Vince thing? Yeah.
Well, I thought he was doing a Vincent because maybe Vincent was being brought in. Weren't they going to tap him for Captain Howdy at some point? Or was that your wishful thinking?
Maybe that was a rumor.
I thought it was.
No.
See, you may think I'm crazy, but I remember all these connections.
No way that was ever possible.
Yeah.
Maybe to play them like, but never like what kind of?
I think
reveal?
you're right. Yeah, they had they went to the Performance Center at one point, him and Dutch, before they officially signed with ROH. I don't know if it was before Bray died or not.
Yeah, listen, I love Vincent, man, but like that would have been the way that this is developed now with Bo is 10 times better than. Wait, so are we saying that they were going to tag Vincent to do this while Bray was still wrestling?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes a little more sense then. Okay.
It could have been him lunging off during a Mountain Dew match.
Gotcha. All right.
Mountain Dew match.
Bathroom match.
Not wrong.
The episode. But yeah, man, they've done an unbelievable job with this Wyatt Six. It's just when is like these 3 guys being the trios, right? Like when do we see Uncle Howdy's Bo Dallas wrestle? Like, what's next? Are we staying in this realm where we're feuding with Chad Gable and the Creeds, or are we on to something else?
Well, here's the thing, Matt. We talked about Kevin Sullivan being like the modern day Bobby Heenan. maybe Bo Dallas could be the modern day Kevin Sullivan and just send these guys to war. And then we finally get a match eventually with him. And we did see him not wearing that jacket and that hat. We've seen him in like what could be his possible wrestling gear a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So I think it's the blow off is him and Gable. You're gonna have to do that, whether it's Bash in Berlin, whether it's Survivor Series, whether it's that. Like, you're gonna get that. Now, my dream would be, because WWE has become so stable, eccentric now lately, I hope we go back to like having one match in War Games and the other matches all just being teams. Like, they're setting us up for that, because there are so many stables.
I kind of hope so. That's an amazing idea. I kind of hope it goes that way.
Yeah, traditional Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Love it.
And have and cap it off with the War Games, with the Bloodline.
More Samoans, bring them in. I've got spots for everybody.
Dude, I'll watch that storyline go till for fucking 30 more years. I don't even care.
I am on board with this, with one caveat. I do not want to hear the fucking phrase brand supremacy. They're bringing these fuckers in. I don't want blue shirts on one side and red on the other.
I haven't done that.
I know, but I want to keep it that way. So
You shouldn't do that.
yeah. If you want to give me 5-on-5s or 4-on-4s, whatever, fine. But just put them together, make them make sense.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we ask, right? Make it make sense.
Yep.
KJG alluded to it earlier. Looks like Kevin Owens is going to be set for Bash at Berlin. That transpired on SmackDown. We kind of joked about Santos Escobar getting a title shot. It won't be for the Speed Championship. He'll be challenging LA Knight. He beat Andrade on SmackDown. And we will find out.
He beat the Speed Champion, though.
That's true.
Yeah, but it was not for
title.
the Speed title.
That was more than 3 minutes.
It can't be a title match if you don't bring the belt out to the ring with you.
Bro, if you showed me, like, if someone mocked up a bunch of Speed titles and I wouldn't be able to decipher what the real title is and what's fake.
Anybody got Photoshop skills in the chat? I would love to present that to Matt next week for the big anniversary or the big fucking barbecue show.
It'd be a hoot. And I guess they had a tournament to find out who the new #1 tag team.
Of course, it was
Qualifiers.
Steeplechase or whatever they call them.
What do you call?
What do they call them when one guy
Eliminators.
Yeah, and then the next guy comes in when somebody gets eliminated.
Gauntlet match.
Yes, thank you.
Did you call it a pickle chase?
No, what did I call it? I forgot what it was.
Pretty sure you called it a pickle chase.
Where's your mind?
Pickles.
HK don't need to chase pickles. They always seem to find their way home.
Yeah. I believe DIY beat Pretty Deadly, and the Street Profits beat A-Town Down Under. So they will, I'm assuming, go at it for the tag titles, #1 contendership at some point.
Yeah.
Wait, against the Samoans?
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Against Fatu and the good other Samoan guy. Tamatanga, yes. The one who knows where the balls are.
I called him Samoan, and the name of where he's from is literally in his name.
Whatever.
It's not Samoa, it's Tonga.
They're all island boys.
It's my island boys.
Was Jimmy Snuka the only one from Fiji?
Siviafi.
Oh, Siviafi was too, yeah. They tried to pan him off.
Wasn't
They're
there
all
Jimmy
islanders.
Snuka Jr. also? Or
Yeah.
I'm bringing that up.
We called her Tamina.
Oh.
Yeah, but he was a throwback from the 50s, wasn't he? Sim Snuka.
There
God,
it is.
they're right.
Yeah.
Deuce.
Deuce, yeah. Douche.
Cliff, that's not Cliff Compton.
No, not Cliff.
God's
Booth.
Domino.
The other one.
And I think they fired Deuce because he couldn't catch the Undertaker at that WrestleMania match.
Yep. Whoops.
I thought it was Nancy, brother.
Holy shit. Then again, Undertaker dove and he was coming down head first. I mean, how much could you really catch him? at
Yeah,
that
and then he
point?
also had to get rid of a camera off his shoulder and move 3 feet to the left.
Yep.
And yeah.
And
Bad
he's
rep.
dead. And you know what? I don't see what the big deal is. He's dead anyway. So
Who, Sim Snuka?
no, the Undertaker. He's dead. Dead man. He would have been fine.
No,
Sat
I
right
thought-
up.
They
thought
set
you
him
were
on
making it-
fire. He was fine. You know, all sorts of shit. Like
Buried alive a
legitimately.
couple times.
Maybe he was reincarnated as Darby Allin. He's setting people on fire.
So I've been on the NXT train too, and there's not a lot. Like I don't want to get deep into it, but there is. The Rascals reunion is over.
What happened?
Wesley turned. He turned on him. They lost the tag title match, and Wesley turned on me. He says, "You left me here 2 years ago." Kicked Zachary Wentz in his wiener. He super kicked Trey Miguel. Everybody's crying. They're sad. The NXT universe was very upset.
Very upset.
Very
pissed.
I was happy.
You were happy.
Fuck yeah.
Somebody actually knew how to kick somebody in the balls.
He kicked him right in the ding ding, man. So, and I was happy for, I guess the main reason is the way that it played out. The way that it played, because I don't see him as a heel at all, but the motive behind it and the way that it was executed made me go, yep, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. I want to see where it goes next. And that's kind of the whole point. Like they do stuff like this because they want to keep you wanting to see what happens next. And just like I say, the motive and the way it played out, I fucking loved it.
I hated it. Freaking hated it, Brundo. Like, what was the motive? Like, I don't understand what the motive. Trey Miguel was never in NXT. He never left him. Like,
Yep, he kicked Zachary Wentz, who supposedly left him because he was hitting the wrong person.
are we talking about the actual night? Or are we talking about like the history of? I don't get that. Was that a joke?
Yeah, he got thrown out for some activities outside the ring, or supposedly that happened.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
allegedly.
fair. That's fine.
Yeah.
If he was released for whatever. But that has nothing to do with. That shouldn't parlay into the story.
But the story was Wesley saying, you left me. I've been here by myself for 2 years.
But Trey was never there.
I know, but they're the Rascals. They're a unit, right? The presentation for when Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel show back up in NXT to talk Wesley off the ledge, and then you're getting the treehouse segments that we saw on Impact. The trio is on Impact. They're on Slammiversary. They're still a family.
So that makes even less sense then now.
How could it make less sense now?
Like what? Like they just came back. You like are doing all this stuff together, and because someone got released, and because someone was never there in the first place, like you're mad at them for what? It makes no sense to be mad at them.
They're not telling in the story. They're not telling that he was released, right? They're telling in the story that Zachary Wentz just decided to leave.
All right.
Right. So he left Wesley all by himself.
Okay. I can tolerate that.
Right. And look, this is all I'd gathered because that's how the show ended, right? We haven't got an explanation from Wesley yet. The Rascals were on Impact, but it was only Trey and Zach.
Yeah, Zach. I think Zach won the triple threat against Casey and Dante Chen from NXT.
Yeah, Dante Chen. There you go. Pete Dunne beat Trick Williams, so it looks like Trick Williams is spiraling out of control. We finally got the Ethan Page Oro Mensa match, which I'm just glad we got that fucking out of the way. But my big thing here, right?
Oh yeah.
And look, man, the fucking barbecue fucking segments. Just wipe your ass with the fucking Great American Bash. Call it fucking Shawn Michaels Barbecue Playhouse. But it was the fucking dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen. Fucking Robbie E is having a wing eating contest against some girl. They're the fucking right hand of Ava, the fucking GM. The Good Brothers hate the wieners. They hate the soda. They hate everything. Tank and fucking Donk or whatever the fuck his dumb name is.
Tank.
There ain't no fighting at this party, but they let the girls fight because they're like, oh yeah, girls roll around in the barbecue sauce. Oh, sassafras.
So you're not taking notes on how to do a barbecue from NXT.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is this in the middle of this great show?
part of me feels like Shawn Michaels hasn't totally caught up to Triple H in terms of booking.
Oh, NXT's supposed to fun, man. Have fun. Barbecues.
This is what
It's
Jesus is
summertime.
telling him to do. He should fucking stop listening to Jesus.
Is it better or worse than the Los Parkas cooking segments on MLW?
This might have been worse.
Really?
I hated this, man. There's all these like super Pete Dunne, Trick Williams, the NXT Women's North American title, the Ethan Page title match, right? All this great story. Joe Hendry, which I'm going to get into in a second, right? Look, I love Carl Fredericks. All right, Eddie Thorpe, right? But I don't give Eddie Thorpe wants to play music. Brian Pillman Jr., Lexus King with the worst fucking facial hair in the history. Not only does he have shitty hair, but he's got shitty facial hair. I don't give a fuck. No, look, nobody should be playing any music at the barbecue except the hosts.
Well, you taking it
Drank or whatever the fuck his name is.
You taking a shot at somebody with that comment, sir?
No, I just hate it. I hate it. I hate everything. Every one of these segments, I hated. Hated.
So only the host is playing music at his or her barbecue.
Yes.
So was Shawn
Sounds like
Michaels
a
have
challenge.
Sexy Boy on loop? It was
He
his
wasn't the
barbecue,
host.
wasn't
It was the tank. It was tanking, whatever his other guy, the overalls.
it? Tank and Frank.
Yeah, I think that's his fucking name.
No,
Fucking
I think it's
Wiener-
Hank and Tank.
Oh,
the Wienerville connection.
Tank
Jesus Christ.
Ledger.
Lots of pecker talk tonight, huh?
Hank and Tank. Yeah, you're right, KJG. Okay, but here's my thing, right? And I don't know what's going on at TNA world.
Here's my thing.
Here it is. Oh, here I am.
Doubling down.
How are you letting Joe Hendry just go?
Because he's not under contract, bro.
He is under
He
contract.
To NXT?
No, to TNA.
Oh, then fucking let him go.
How do you not? I still don't understand how he didn't walk out of Slammiversary as the champion. He's main eventing NXT. He's fucking over huge. He's main eventing Impact. He's over huge. He's training at the PC though. Like, what are you doing, TNA?
I
Maybe
thought
they
Jordan
know.
Grace was doing the same thing too, no?
Jordan Grace is, dude, she's not over. Like, sorry, man. Joe Hendry's on NXT and Impact every fucking week.
Yeah, well, Joe Hendry's over because he's got a great look and he's got that catchy song. That's like he's skyrocketed with that. You
Maybe
know?
they already know, like, Joe Hendry's gone. Like, there's no way we're gonna put it or offer him enough money, or they know he's gonna go. So let's just get what we can out of him now.
Yeah, and they're working with him. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not their fault that the Rascals broke up. I mean, you know, shit happens.
I don't know.
Shawn Michaels prayed extra hard to Jesus, and he's got himself Joe Hendry now.
He believed.
Of course he believed, and he said his name enough. He's like fucking Beetlejuice.
You think Jesus has said Joe Hendry's name, and then Joe
Fuck
Hendry
yeah, he
showed up?
has. He's next to
just feel
St.
like-
Peter at the gates, bro.
I just feel like it's such a missed opportunity for TNA. Like, he's covered.
He's not going anywhere.
Right, but
TNA's got a great deal right now with WWE, and they don't want to fuck it up. They're going to work
why
together.
would you put the title on Joe Hendry so he's showing up on NXT every week? He ain't losing. They're
Oh, you're
not
talking
having-
about TNA putting the belt. All right, I agree with that
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
Yes, like I don't understand. Like, look, we talked about it last week. Like, Dolph Ziggler does nothing for me. Nick Nemeth, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Like,
Never did, bro. Vanilla midget to me.
what they did Thursday night on Impact, where they set up the match with Josh Alexander, like, cool, right? Because I like Josh Alexander, but like, I don't know, man. Like, Nick Nemeth is a world champion.
It's the long game. Josh Alexander as a heel, maybe beating Nick Nemeth, and then Joe Hendry taking it off Josh Alexander. He's still got a couple years left on his contract. So
Yeah,
then you have Joe. It's a long game, man.
But they
I
were all
think-
involved in that 6-man scramble, whatever it was, right? Joe Hendry was in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless they got a deal where it's like, yeah, don't put the title on him. We're going to see where this goes. I don't know.
I think that's definitely on the table.
Who's the digital media champion?
PCO.
Really?
Yep.
Soon to be your close personal friend Matt Cardona.
Oh, that piece of shit. How dare he? He fucking Steph DeLander was looking to get taken to Pound Town by PCO.
Yeah.
And this fucking nerd with his fucking wrestling figures shows up and he deems SDL as his property.
That's right.
I thought
And
slavery
him
was
and his
illegal.
goon squad beat up PCO. You can't piss off Frankenstein and fucking with his woman.
I thought you're not allowed to own people. It's 2024.
Right. So fucking Matt Cardona's just doing whatever he wants. He's all willy-nilly.
He's breaking the law too, damn it.
He's got the stroke.
Oh yeah.
I guess the PCO now stands for Pound Town.
Piece of trash.
Love it.
Upsetting.
I relate your feelings.
Oh, don't worry. I'll put it in a little. I'll make a clip and I'll put it on the internet. I was upset Thursday night watching this, man. SDL, she's looking hot. She's looking sexy. She wants to consummate the marriage with PCO because it already got interrupted once by fucking Matt Cardona. Do I wear the red? Do I wear the black? I got the jacuzzi all set up. PCO's phone's going right to voicemail.
How come he hasn't wrestled in NXT?
Who?
Cardona.
I don't know.
He's been hurt.
He's too busy
Still?
blocking
Yeah.
PCO.
This motherfucker's hurt like every other day.
He's
They
the
You could
Join
ask that
sec-
question about a lot of different TNA guys, though, not just
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but I still think back to when he won the NWA title and he wound up getting hurt and he was out for a long time. It kind of fucked everything up there too.
Yeah.
Instead, we got fucking Tyrus for a year and a half. Thanks, Zach.
woo woo woo. You know it. Rude, just very rude.
Yeah, a lot of rudeness going on in TNA. No wonder
And-
they're trying to get Joe Hendry out of that quagmire.
And the fucking system, they're all dressed like Apollo Creed. Like, what are we doing?
So what?
Fucking,
They're patriotic. What do you?
they're not.
They're-
They're dirtbags. They're all dirtbags.
Oh, no, don't you dare.
The system is down.
They were in Montreal, so they did that to you know,
They're still
incite.
dirtbags. I know your guy's part of that tag team with Eddie Edwards. I'm sure they're both nice guys, but they're dirtbags. Moose is the fucking worst.
Oh,
And
Moose is terrible.
Alicia Edwards, she's got a voice that sounds like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Oh, she's hot, bro.
Dude, they're
Hot.
great.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're great.
Yeah, I hate them. I hate them all. I hate the system.
Trust
She's,
it. man.
she's
Santana-
serviceable, no?
Mike Santana's gonna fuck shit up. He's gonna beat every one of them little bitches.
How's he doing?
Great. He's gonna beat up all them bitches in the system.
All them bitches.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck some bitches up.
Jesus Christ. This is where we're at now.
What? He's fucking fired up, man.
Gonna fuck up these bitches.
He's fucking Diesel. He's
Diesel?
fucking jacked up.
These
ready to go.
bitches. Wait, woo woo Diesel.
Wait, Milwaukee Tom's friend?
No. I watched TNA this week. It was It was much better than the show the last week.
Ugh.
The last week. And fucking Ash by Elegance. I don't know why she would fuck with Rosemary. Rosemary brings a goddamn butcher's knife to the fucking ring in a bag.
Why?
Because why not?
She's a murderer.
Why would you do? Oh, murderer.
Listen, Peapod mentioned machetes before, so this isn't. This isn't
Yeah,
new.
the husk of a pea.
The husk. Husk. Husk.
Husk. Back there somewhere.
Back
Yep.
in there if you need me.
Yeah, of course.
I got a text message from Tony yesterday.
Oh,
Saturday.
me? Wait a minute. What did I send you?
Uh-oh.
Tried to watch Dynamite.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You got time?
This is where we're going with this big guy.
Oh boy. I have to find my messages to you. Ugh. Yeah,
We didn't have like a fucking 4-hour talk. It was a couple text messages.
I know, but it felt it felt like it was a problem.
So Tony, you didn't like the opening match of Dynamite.
All right. So in general, why is Dynamite match, talking, or fighting, and then match and talking and fighting, and then match and then talking and fighting? The first 4 fucking matches did the same thing. The only saving grace is that they let Camille destroy 2 people, which is what they should have done.
It's a wrestling show, Tony.
Yeah, but every fucking match, dude, it's the same thing. Okay, now they're going to wrestle. And even though the bad guy won, he's still going to beat up the good guy. And then somebody else is going to come out and stop it. And then the next match, hey, the guy won, and then he beat somebody up, and he's going to beat him up after he won the match. And somebody else is going to come out and beat them up. And then the next match, somebody wins the match. And and by the way, there's always somebody else on commentary too. Yeah. There were like fucking 3 guest commentators in the opening of the show. What? It's the same. It's like wash, rinse, repeat for every fucking storyline. The only one that, and all right, so here's another thing, right? We'll get to the fourth one. The fourth one, they didn't follow it because Britt Baker was home because she was suspended. But here's the big fucking snafu that really stuck in my craw. Tony Schiavone's on the fucking platform going, hey, sweetie, up here, look at me. To fucking Mercedes moan because she was doing all this shit. And she's like, Tony Khan overrode the Young Bucks suspension. Why can't this motherfucker override the Young Bucks for everything else they've done? Why? And if she was suspended, why was she suspended? Why?
She attacked her at Comic-Con.
Yeah, and then she put on the Sting mask and she attacked her again.
But why? Why was she suspended?
Why was she suspended?
For a week, and then Tony Khan said, fuck you, she's not suspended anymore, and here she is on video.
I mean, how long do you want suspensions to be?
A month.
Come on, stop.
Who gets suspended for a week? Oh, Dynamite's Wednesday. Let's cut it down to 6 days. You don't get to work Rampage. Aw, shucks. Chris Jericho can eat a fucking fat dick. Oh my God, that fucking learning tree nonsense. Why did they put poor Brian Keith in with this shit?
I mean, look, you're not wrong, man. It's a lot of. It's almost like the
MJF is so tiresome. My God, he's so tiresome.
I agree. The MJF promos are very.
But even in the ring, like, did you fucking come on, man?
What's the kangaroo kick?
You're the revolution of this company, bro. You are the fucking star. Why are you doing this shit?
Because he was fighting an Australian.
Yeah, but he did the kangaroo kick before that, like that.
But against another Australian, right? Or was it Adam Cole?
Adam Cole, baby, oi, oi.
Okay. Because I want somebody else to chime in with this too. Because Tony, HK's laughing because I know he's. Let's go to you, HK. Give me your feels on what Tony just said.
So majority of it I can agree with. Now what I'm trying to do with AEW, I'm really trying to do, and it's not easy, is to not be as judgmental while I watch it. I'm trying.
Right.
It's not easy. It really isn't. I still very much enjoy MJF both on the mic and in the ring. He's one of the few guys, like, watching his matches, he lets things breathe. Like, he will sell things. Like, things work for me when I'm watching MJF. So I'm still 100% with MJF. The rest of it, not so much. Not so much. This is the hard part too, because I know that I don't connect with the product at this point because I watched the entire thing, right? Uninterrupted, locked in, live. The only thing that I remember, MJF and the main event, right? That's it. And I watched it uninterrupted, locked in. I didn't remember half the shit that happened until I was starting to put the notes and the banners. You know what I mean? Like, I tune out because there's no reason for me to care as much. So I'm trying to be less critical of it. Love MJF, right? Love him on the stick, in the ring. He's still the one guy to me in the company that I can watch a wrestling match and enjoy the pace of it. So that's kind of where I land on it. The Jeff Jarrett Danielson stuff was good enough. You know what I mean? It was good enough. But to me, I'm a big MJF guy. That's where I'll hang my hat with AEW.
I'm going into. I haven't watched it yet. I'm up to that match. I want to watch the main event. I heard good things about it, so I have really no comment on that. I didn't watch the Pockets 6-man match because I don't give a shit about Pockets. But even after that, the Acclaimed came out. What's the Acclaimed's beef with FTR? Like, did I miss something? Like, all of a sudden they hate them?
So, FTR shtick is this is their legacy. They're bound to be tag team champions.
Yeah, and they should. That should be their legacy.
Right, and they want the Young Bucks. But the Acclaimed beat the Young Bucks, and the Acclaimed were in Blood and Guts, and they represented Team AEW. And when the going gets tough, FTR splits town. That's the story they're telling. The Acclaimed is taking a more serious route.
That's why they grew the mustaches.
Yes, definitely why they grew their mustaches, heel mustaches. So that's the story. The Acclaimed is there to represent AEW. FTR comes and go as they please. And they point out Blood and Guts. The Acclaimed was there. FTR was nowhere to be found.
But is that true though? Like, is FTR just disappearing, or were they just not booked for the show and they're running with it?
I think Dax was
been
hurt.
around. So if he was hurt, I mean,
right. But it's a device to tell a story.
I know, but it was the fourth match in a row of like a whole bunch of shit with a pull apart after the match. And Matthew Birch made a good point, which I forgot about. How come nobody gives a shit to protect Kyle Fletcher, but everybody else is getting beat up? Everybody runs out to save him.
Yeah, Matthew Birch says, my main issue with this week's Dynamite was there were so many pull-apart brawls where security and refs ran in to stop it, but yet no one ran out to help Kyle Fletcher when MJF was trying to kill him.
They did show Ospreay at the end of that. Like he was locked in.
Out of the way to fucking and the screwdriver and fucking the screwdriver. Fuck that shit. Don Callis, is he a fucking face? Is he a heel? Are they heels? I don't know. But Kyle Fletcher wouldn't stab him with the screwdriver. Like I don't know what's going on. So there's a heel manager of a face wrestler who's buddies with another face wrestler who used to be managed by the heel manager, but told him, "Hey, I'm leaving," and he said, "Okay, buddy, see you later." Just stabby screwdriver guy. Like,
but Kyle's in the process of turning babyface.
Well, the one match that stood out to me was actually the woman's the Mariah May thing. Although, why do you have to give her a fucking present where it says "Die Mariah, die"? I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Well, that's the Tony Storm character, though.
I get it. That's her character, but like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, why would the heel fucking sit there and open up a present? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because that's like, that's her character. Like, she's like, I deserve all the presents in the world. This is my Amazon wish list. Buy something for me.
Does she have an Amazon wish list?
I don't fucking
Can we Jake pay her some money?
It's not in the clink.
I'm sure she did something wrong. We could find something out.
All right.
Rat her out to the feds.
She
stole a shoe. She should go to jail for fucking larceny.
She's a saint.
She's a saint.
She really is. She got a nice hiney too.
Hiney talk. Come on, man.
Oh, come on. We were all talking about Liv Morgan's hiney before. We can't talk about Mariah's.
It was you who brought up her hiney.
Well, you were talking about dicks all night. I mean, I had to bring it back a little bit.
Balance.
Yeah. Little yin and yang.
Get a little balance.
Yeah, come on. Little column A, little column B.
I really love Danielson Jeff Jarrett.
I gotta watch it. I've heard good things about it.
It's a throwback, like Memphis style.
Turnbuckle throwback?
No. God damn it. Wow. Throwback, like Memphis style, like these last like 4 months are some of the best work that Jeff Jarrett's doing. And look, I know a lot of people like get Jeff Jarrett off my TV, whatever. Like if Jeff Jarrett,
who's still saying that? Who is still saying that?
Look, I'm sure there's somebody in the ether.
Did she really?
If it's Adam Page, Jeff Jarrett at All In, like I'm fucking into that, man. Like there's a story there. There's a reason why they're here. Like I'm there for it.
Yeah, we've learned that age is no longer an issue if you connect with the audience. And Jeff Jarrett over the last 6 months, last year, whether it's heel or babyface, has connected with the audience, and he deserves a spot. A high profile spot because the people freaking love him now.
But is he babyface right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's, for lack of a better term, yes, he's babyface. But like you weren't sure though because he attacked Daniel Bryan with the guitar. So we thought, oh, is he really going to be a babyface or is he just still going to be like that?
Wait, why did he attack him with a guitar?
It was the start of the match, I think.
Because it was no holds barred.
And the week before, Daniel Bryan like fucking gave a big old fuck you to Jeff Jarrett. And then so now Jeff Jarrett was like, you wanted this. And when Daniel Bryan was making his entrance, Jeff Jarrett hit him with the guitar in the back. So like I wasn't sure if maybe he was going back to being a heel, but then at the end of the match, you saw them embrace and Ricky Steamboat raised both their hands and it was dope. And Jeff Jarrett to me now is a full-fledged babyface. And if I would sign up 100% for him versus Hangman Page at what is it? All in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? And I'm not doing it to shit on anybody, but does anybody really give a fuck about Swerve Strickland anymore?
I don't
think so. I don't. And
I saw him sitting down with JR. I'm like, I don't have the time or the patience for this.
JR looks rough. Brendan said
JR looks really
I
bad.
was like, Brendan's trying to be funny, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh.
Dude's been sick, bro.
And it's not to make fun of him or anything. He just doesn't look well.
Yeah, he's had a rough year too. So,
but like, I don't know, like Swerve is there, and I'm just like, I just don't fucking care. Like, I just don't.
They're trying with him, man. You know, look, his match with Ospreay was a banger. You know, his win over Joe was great, but like,
all right, listen, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with this. You mentioned his match with Will Ospreay. Does anybody in 2024 even know where the Tiger Driver 91 came from, let alone why it's such a devastating move other than Will doing it once on TV? Like, does anybody really fucking know the history of it? Or are they just throwing it around because fucking Sockface likes to say Tiger Driver 91?
I think
I'm serious. It's a serious question.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of the AEW fans.
But do they know it just because Sockface said it, or like Will Ospreay did it once? Like,
I mean, the AEW fans were PWG fans, which
So in other words, nobody outside of PWG.
Yeah,
really.
I'm not saying anybody outside of. Yeah, but that's why I said AEW fans, not wrestling.
But why does it matter if that's the name of the move?
Because who gives a shit? Like, here's the thing that kills me, right? Like, just do the fucking move. Like, just do the fucking move.
But the story is the move almost paralyzed Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, because he didn't have a fucking stack of dimes for a neck to begin with.
Look, man, I get it, right? You don't like but you.
No. It's not like an AEW.
They're using these things as a storytelling.
I've seen motherfuckers get pile driven on the hardest part of the ring. And this guy gives a shit about the Tiger Driver 91?
That should make you mad,
sense, bro. Oh, because that's only a 2 count. I could imagine a Tiger Driver would fucking get you a 3, unless they kick out at 1 because they're strong style. But just make it make sense, dude. Like, why are you putting so much stock in?
He doesn't want to do it because he almost ended Danielson's career. So in those moments when he has someone on the ropes and he can hit the Tiger Driver 91, he hesitates. He's in his own head, and it's preventing him from winning. He lost the international championship. He lost his title match to Swerve Strickland. That's the story they're telling.
Do you guys remember the storyline when Billy Kidman was afraid to do the shooting star press because he had hurt?
Yeah, he's hurting everybody he fucking did it to.
Yeah,
he's fucking himself up too.
And for some reason, and then somehow he turned heel too. By the way, and that whole thing.
That's the story they're telling with that. No, you're good.
I think he's definitely hitting it at All In too. Like MJF's just attacking everybody he likes. He was over in England and attacked that Oku guy that Will was really big on, I think yesterday or something like that. Or
that's when they had the Rev Pro show was yesterday.
Yeah. So I think they're building towards him definitely hitting it on MJF at All In.
The only other thing I could say is the commentary's still dog shit. It's still fucking really bad. It's really bad. Sorry.
No,
I listened to commentary to hear Taz, say Yambag.
Yeah, but they threw Taz out because Jericho had to come out with the fucking learning. What a fucking.
Well, that's another part of the story.
So stupid.
Is it stupid that Jericho doesn't want the father of his rival out there to call his matches? It's not the best story, but it's a story.
So they let fucking Brian Keith lose and then they beat up Shibata? Like, why not just beat up Shibata before he fucking loses?
Look, I'm with you, man. This Dynamite was full of too much bullshit like that. It was almost like mid-2000s WWE. We start the show with a promo, then a match gets made, and then the match gets changed in the hour and a half into Raw, and then we get a different main event, and it's all shit. And the special guest host is involved. fucking Kermit pins, fucking Dolph
Oh
Ziggler.
my God, if Kermit pinned
Hey,
one of these fucking Dark Order jack-offs, that'd be fucking amazing.
Jesus.
We need another Shaq Diesel fucking tag match is what we need on Dynamite. We need Maki Ito coming out singing while everybody else is fucking beating the shit out of each other. I miss those moments in AEW. I really do.
I think. Oh, sorry, HK. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I'd like to ask you guys this because I threw this at Tony. I think it was Saturday morning, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's always throwing it at me because he knows I'm his best bro.
Yeah, he's my bro. So I was doing a little bit of research, right, just on AEW in general, because years ago the product, like for me, I connected to it. I really enjoyed what they were doing. Grand Slam in 2021 did over 20,000 in attendance, right? Over 20,000.
Is that the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, we were there for that.
2022.
Eating sandwiches in the parking lot.
Yep. 2022 was down.
2022, it did just over 14. 2023, just about 11,000. This year, they're setting up, right? Setting up for under 5,000. Right. So it's not just me that doesn't connect with the product anymore. And looking at that, right? 20,000, right? In 2021. And this year, they're setting up for less than a quarter of that.
Yeah, but
How-
that's a skewed view, though.
Those are attendance numbers.
No,
That's
I
not-
got it, but the product and the talent is in a different place than it was then.
So
Yeah,
clearly,
some of them are in WWE.
much in not a better place, right? And this is concerning, right? This is concerning, like beyond ratings, beyond however you want to look at it, you're looking at live attendance numbers that are less than a quarter of where they were in 2021. This is an issue, man. This is an issue. That means not just me is not connecting with the product anymore. That means a large scale of people are not connecting with the product anymore, right?
How
This-
we looking for Wembley?
and it, I believe last I saw
50?
they were less than 50, right? And that's, I mean, and they should do great numbers over there, right?
Yeah.
They're hungry for the product. I'm talking here domestically.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. And you can say as much as you want about how much money he has. Billionaires don't stay billionaires by losing money, right? It's not the way it works. It's fucking troubling, man. It's worrisome because I don't want them to collapse. But if you look, just like I say, just based on that number alone, the Grand Slam attendance going from over 20,000 in 2021 to setting up for less than 5, that's fucking trouble. It's fucking trouble.
I think you're overstating the live event stuff. The money is in the TV rights, and I think that Warner Brother is gonna re-up AEW because they're still working together, they're still doing their thing, and as long as you have a good TV deal, you're gonna make money and you're gonna be profitable. So you could cut your losses with the live event attendance. It's not ideal, and obviously the creative has taken a hit since day one. AEW was freaking fire for like the first 2 years, like incredibly good. And obviously it's taken a hit, but I think they're going to get a deal out of Warner Brothers. They're going to make their money and they'll be profitable and they'll stick around.
I think a thing to think of too is how much better WWE has gotten since that time too. Like they've completely turned around from whatever dog shit they kind of were in 2021.
And,
Yeah, but even then they were still selling tickets.
and
Yeah.
don't you think, like I think Bischoff has said it numerous times, like it's hard to get the audience back once they've changed the channel, right? And it appears that a lot of people have changed the channel, right? The ship is taking on water, man. The ship, and you could say, sure, they'll get their Warner Brothers deal and all that. Sweet, man, like sweet. They're the top rated show on TBS when they're on Wednesday, whatever it is, right? But it's still down. It's
That's
down.
all that matters, though. That's all that matters. If the TV network is willing to put you on, then you're going to be okay.
It can't be all that matters, man. Not when everything's down. Not when everything's down. But
it is, though.
If you're a wrestling fan, right? If you're a wrestling fan, or say you're an ice cream fan, right? And everybody's talking about this great flavor. Everybody's going to try the great flavor. If everybody's talking about how much they don't like the flavor, how much that flavor isn't selling, you don't go, I'm going to try that flavor that's not selling.
Right, but you're talking about the foreseeable future. You're talking about and they don't have a deal yet, so I could be proven dead wrong. Maybe they don't have a deal, but I think they will. And once that happens, for the foreseeable future, AEW will be okay.
Unless what happens to WCW happens and somebody else comes in and Warner Brothers and says, fuck it, pull the plug.
And you also have to worry about, like, it's great if they sign a deal, right? Because that helps Tony Khan. But, like, you walk into an arena and there's 1,500 people there and you see your fucking buddies are on Raw and SmackDown and they're sold out houses every night. Like, when your contract's up, you're gone. Ricky Stark's gone. Like, that matters. To answer somebody's question earlier, all in right now, we are at 51,314. It's set up for, looks like 58.
And that's great.
According to Wrestle Tickets, and that was 4 days ago. I have a couple other things from Wrestle Tickets here. Collision on Thursday the 12th. They've sold 3,300 tickets.
Well, Collision on Thursday starts at the esports arena. No,
this is Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
They've been doing Collision there, right? Haven't they?
I'm sorry.
They've been doing Collision at the esports arena already.
Yes, they're just wrapping up at the end of August, I think. So the Wrestle Tickets has they have a couple different. It's not in any specific order, so I apologize. Let's see. Last Saturday. So the esports stadium is only set up for 2,000 people.
Yeah, but they're trying to do what they used to do at MGM, They're establishing a residency. They're trying to get, some tapings done. They'll fill it for 2,000, I would imagine.
Yeah, look, okay. This Wednesday's Dynamite Rampage tapings, it's set up for 3,600. They've sold 2,500 tickets. And this is yesterday.
It's not good.
Well, they've gained 600 tickets since 6 days ago, like 600 ticket sales.
Oh, by the way, I thought I saw in the notes somewhere that the Dawsons were getting a shot in AEW doing some job work.
Collision?
Yes. Remember them from the original days of NWA?
Yes. I know you're not a big fan of the blood, Tony, but the Thunder Rosa Deonna Purrazzo match on Collision was great too.
That was a good story.
That was on Collision.
Yes.
Yeah. They really built that up. I like the way they built that up the last couple of weeks.
And I think I
very
read
satisfying.
That Thunder Rosa's putting Mission Pro on hiatus.
Yes.
Maybe it has to do something with the E-Arena shows because they're going to be doing those shows every Wednesday. It's possible. Maybe she's going to try to get the girls work over there for the AEW tapings.
Perhaps.
It doesn't make sense for her to run Mission Pro shows if they're running AEW every week, right? At least for now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much.
No, you're good. Sorry, I'm looking at her Twitter to see if I can find that. One last thing before we wrap up tonight. Mercedes Moné, we all agree her promos are pretty fucking boring, right?
Oh, the shits.
But then she goes on fucking Twitter and she cuts this phenomenal promo. And you watch it, and you're like, why can't this woman show up on Wednesday nights?
How many takes did she have? Maybe she has, 20 in the can. Like he's trying to do an open.
Right, so then maybe that's the route you go with her. You do pre-recorded promo. Dude, the promo that she put out Saturday.
Now, she said that she has creative control, right, over her stuff.
She's got a writer. Doesn't she have her own writer?
I believe so.
Golly. What the fuck?
Yeah, that is pause for concern. Pause or cause? Is it pause or cause for concern?
It's cause for concern, not pause for concern.
I paused and then I'm concerned.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
That's a good save. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was on just Instagram. It's not on Twitter.
I kind of hope Camille comes out of this as a big star. I really do.
I think she's going to. Yeah. I think it's gonna be like the Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker thing where.
Oh my God! I wish
Hayter
Jamie Hayter would
exploded
come
out of
back.
that.
I miss her so much.
I think this is how they're gonna bring her back. It's Camila Monet, and Britt eventually says, "Oh, I got a friend that's gonna help me out with this."
To me,
she's healthy, that's perfect.
Camille is the equivalent of Jade Cargill.
Oh no,
Like-
I get why you say that, but I think Camille stands out for different reasons.
Fair.
She's not really charismatic. She's more monster, while Jade has that aura about her that she's like a movie star as opposed to just a beast.
Yeah, but look at Kevin Nash when he came in as the bodyguard of Shawn Michaels. He was just the muscle and then developed into being that super charismatic dude. So I think Camille has that potential 100%, and I think she is. I think she has Jade Cargill ceiling.
I hope the world for that woman, and then I hope Kenzie Page gets her shot because I'm a big fan of hers too. But that's another story.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a quick question before we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Would you guys be against XPW shirts for Christmas?
Not one bit.
I mean, I wouldn't wear it. But
Oh, come on. They got them in green. They got them in red. They got them in yellow and pink.
they got they got a BOGO sale?
No, just, I'm looking outside the box for, different Christmas gifts.
Good
They
man.
do put the X in Xmas.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Did they announce when their next show is yet?
No, but I'm assuming it's going to be in California because the last one was in Newark. They're still promoting Look What You Made Me Do.
Look what you made me do.
It's a fantastic show if you guys want the credentials.
I'm good.
I heard the first 45 minutes.
Oh
were
my God.
great.
Look, just 9 hours ago,
Oh shit.
go to Extreme Gifts, your one stop for all things extreme in Rochester, New York. Happy Monday. The product of the day with Cat Martini is the Unicorn Tails butt plug.
No shit.
That's got to be Rob Black's shop.
Of course it is. That's that he's got a head shop, the other kind of head. Fuck, dude. You guys want unicorn butt plugs for Christmas?
No, I don't.
How about a certain large fella from Alabama? He's into ass play, isn't he?
Suppose I could use a new one.
I'm good. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I appreciate you. And we appreciate you for tuning in, listening, watching. Next week, we are back in Studio A. We're going to have a full house. Woo! Honestly, I don't know what to expect. I'd love to tell you there's going to be a format, but it's just going to be complete bedlam and chaos and a really fun time. So be sure to tune in next Monday, youtube.com/The Shining Wizards.
Oh shit. Can I make an announcement real quick?
Oh,
I don't
yes.
know if we talked about it on the show. If you cannot make it out to the barbecue, GCW is having their show from Salt Lake City featuring friends of the show, Joey Janela taking on Tombstone Jesus. Might have to plunk down some ducats and watch the replay. That's going to be awesome.
I'll give you my login for that one.
I wonder if his wonderful child is going to be there supporting him, huh, man?
Fuck that kid.
Auto van surfboard.
And shit pants or whatever.
Yeah, he can fucking take a long walk off a short cliff. Like them fucking apples.
I like them. They're delicious.
Please remember to rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast. And if you listen on Spotify, there is a weekly question gimmick where you could provide an answer, and it's always fun to see those. So check that out. Patreon.com/Wizards Podcast. Tons of bonus episodes, 2 per month. Once you sign up at the $3 level, you have access to those 2 and every episode before and for the foreseeable future until you cancel. But it's $3 a month.
It's 3 for 2. 2 for 3.
And more for some fucking shitty coffee at Starbucks that some fucking pimply kid doesn't want to make for you. Hey,
listen, if you have $6, you get 2 cheeseburgers from McDonald's and 2 fucking bonus episodes. Plus, you get the archive.
So check it out.
For $3, you actually get over 100 bonus episodes, and with 2 fresh ones each month. 2 fresh ones. Oh yeah.
Fresh ones. Oh yeah. You guys got anything you need to plug before anything coming up this week?
Only my ass with one of those fucking unicorn butt plugs from Rob Black's head shop.
I'll be there Saturday morning, Tony.
Fuck yeah! We're going to Newark, baby.
Me and my island boy.
No, you're going to Rochester, New York. That's where his shop is.
No, I'm going to Newark to pick up these two chodes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, yes. Chode. I don't want to be a chode.
Chode,
Call me a chode.
All right. Well, be sure to tune in next week for a complete debauchery. And as always, we appreciate you supporting the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast.
Always appreciated.
This has been a production of the Shining Wizards Network. Your executive producers are Manny Kretzo and Main Event Mike Peterson. Our producers are Kate Hensler, Matt Garifo, Hi Fi, Tom, Ryan Schlong, Brendan Haney, Al Day, Kathy Hummer, William Mercier Jr., Michael Hammond, David Henry Bauer III, and Keith Parker.
Scott
For
Gould.
everything Shining Wizards, visit shiningwizards.com. And don't forget to listen to all the great shows of the Shining Wizards Network.
Diana.
I gotta know who Brendan